You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
I tell you what, he's going to throw out that shoulder, man. He's going to need off-season shoulder surgery.
I thought the same thing. Same for the playoffs. We've got a couple more games to go. Love the energy, though, man.
Yeah. Now you're looking forward to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Guys. He says guys like all the time. It's awesome. I feel like I'm back home. Hey, what a win. What a win for the Jags. I mean, here's the deal. They're good.
Yep.
The Jags are good. They're a good football team. And good football team at the right time. And I still don't feel like they've hit their ceiling. I mean, they've had some ceiling games and ceiling moments. And obviously, when you crush the Colts like that, that's pretty damn good. But I think there's more in the tank for this football team along the way, specifically on offense. I do think there's more. But it was a heck of a performance, man. You wonder how they are going to come out in games like this. I mean, here in this city, this franchise, people even in that building, players even in that building, obviously us who talk about it for a living and have followed this for a long time, there's plenty of scar tissue, which creates curiosity and almost fear. What's this going to look like? Even though you own a team like Indianapolis, when's the streak going to end? Jonathan Taylor, what's he going to do? Like all these things. And they deliver. They deliver. I think what they should give you is a sense of confidence. And the confidence that I had is they're going to play physical and they're going to be in games. I feel like they're going to be in games, unless you just absolutely lose the turnover margin. And even then, they've proven to still be in games and win games. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they're going to be there. That's my confidence level. I feel like they're going to show up each week, and I feel like they're going to be physical each week. And I think you can hang your hat on that to be in games. And then now, Austen, I mean, they're thumping some people. I mean, they thumped the Colts, they thumped the Chargers, they thumped Carolina. They obviously thumped the Titans. And now they're going to have to try to do that to the Jets as well, because that's what you should do. Man, oh, man, it's just impressive.
So Friday and then during the pregame, I said if the Jaguars win, it's going to be the Trevor Lawrence game. And I think this was the Trevor Lawrence game. I think this was the showcase of just how good Trevor Lawrence could be. And I was surprised. And I think my surprise also matched the Colts' surprise, especially in that first drive, because I thought in the rain, you're going to rely on your run a little bit first to set things up. And then I just envisioned the Colts trying to stack the box and then making Trevor Lawrence try to beat them. Liam Coen, once again, much credit to him in terms of the opponent that he was playing, didn't allow the Colts to even react. He basically said, oh, you guys want to stop the run? Very cool. Check this out. We're going to pass all over you. And I get it. If you look at the Colts' strengths and weaknesses on defense, they are a much better run-stopping team than they are a pass defense team. Obviously, why they spent 2 first-round picks on Sauce Gardner would prove that. But I appreciated how Liam Coen said, you know what? We're probably a run-first football team, and the Colts probably think that. To hell with that. Let's go out there and let's throw the rock around a little bit. Let's give Trevor some confidence and see what happens. And you saw that opening drive. Indy was selling out for the run. Linebackers playing far up. They kind of find that zone coverage. That was the first one was to what? Myers?
Myers, yeah.
Yeah,
right
first one was to Myers. Great pass, and that set the momentum from there. On the other side of things, and this is where coaching comes into play, Indianapolis, everyone thought, okay, they're going to run the football as well. Obviously, have maybe the best running back in football. Why wouldn't you pound the rock with Jonathan Taylor? What do? They do play action, almost the exact same play that the Jaguars ran, the Colts ran. The difference was that you had disciplined linebackers in Devin Lloyd that didn't cheat up too much, that recognized play action, drop back, had the interception, and it was from there. So not only did the Jaguars win in terms of quarterback play, not only did the Jaguars win in terms of physicality, they also won the coaching battle. To me, it showed that Liam Coen, in terms of coaching, had the Colts number from the get-go.
That's a good point. And I'm going to give you 2 things on the defensive side of that play by Devin Lloyd. one talked to him in the locker room after the game, and he said like he gambled a little bit. He didn't even see the mesh play, but he just gambled a bit that it could be a pass and ended up in the right spot. By the way, heck of a catch. It's not only being in the right spot on a rainy, well, it wasn't rainy really then, but still, heck of a catch by a linebacker. And then Foye-Oluokun actually said, we basically know on tape they run that play on one of the first 2 plays of the game. Every time. They're going to run a similar type play action, on the first 2 plays of the game. So fantastic film study, and tendencies and all that by those guys, and to be ready because I think they're ready for the run too. And then it was just wild because Daniel Jones just kept throwing the ball. Even on the next possession, it was like 6 out of the first 7 plays. We were stunned. Like, okay, you're going to hand it off there. Nope. Going to hand it up. Nope. Going to hand it off. And by the way, they had success on that next drive. Like, Indianapolis had 2 really good bounce-back drives in the first quarter. I think it was the first quarter, maybe into the first half. And even one with Riley Leonard. But after that, obviously.
That was an 11-play drive, that first touchdown drive for the Colts. There was 2 runs before they were inside the 5.
Yeah, wild.
And that was kind of driving me crazy, too, because, and I get the reports from the Indianapolis media all week was Daniel Jones at practice is back to being 100%. I thought that was more of smoke screen than actually a fact because, once again, broken leg. So I didn't think he was going to be 100%. I couldn't believe that they came out and tried to pass right away. Because if you watched any of the Colts film, when they give the ball to Jonathan Taylor, they do well. When they try to pass first and everything and get fancy, they don't do well. And I don't get why teams like the Colts, the Raiders did this with Genti. I don't understand it. But nevertheless, worked out for the Jaguars.
Yeah, back to the coaching and back to, obviously, the Trevor stuff, which we'll talk about for 3 hours. But, I think I do think you're right about the coaching. And I think this is where it comes back to. And it's not just – I was thinking about this a bunch over the last 12 hours or so, 15 hours. It's not just Liam Cohen. Campanelli's been outstanding. And even in that rough stretch, we weren't like, Campanelli, what's he doing? What's he doing? Usually, the defense coordinator, he sucks, all that stuff. That wasn't it. It was like, okay, these guys just ain't very good right now. He doesn't have a lot of choices. And they were beat up in spots, and it looked like the same team as last year in spots. And now you get Eric Murray back. Look at the difference. You get Jordan Lewis back. What does that do to your depth? Now you got guys that have played a little bit. They're starting to come along. Heck, Rayon Lane's playing a decent amount of football. So all those things. But I think it's the actual finding of Anthony Campanelli. You got to go back to. Because to me, you talk about some edge and you talk about a little grit and those kind of things, the energy. Campanelli brings a lot of that. Obviously, Coen has that. They've got nice balance on the staff. And so finding your staff, what you have to be reminded about here is this is Liam Cohen's first head coaching gig ever. Ever. He didn't even coach a Pop Warner team. His kids aren't old enough. He has never been a head coach. And he went and found a good staff that looks like it's clicking. And what he's been able to do, he looks so confident and comfortable on the sideline, even when he's pissed off sometimes. And obviously he carries that energy and that edge. He has the edge, no doubt about it. So you can't give the staff, Coen, right, specifically, but really the staff enough credit for what they've been able to do. And I'll continuously say it because I know where this show is going to go today, and I know where these next couple weeks are going to go today. I just said this with Rich Jones. Right now, the Jags have 9 wins and they're in first place. Now it's between the Texans and the Jags, it seems like, for the division. There's a lot that can still happen. A lot of people think Houston's going to win the division based on the schedules and the way they're playing. And then everybody's going to look back and say, that Houston debacle. Well, I'm not sure the Jags are who they are right now without that Houston debacle. It or not, I just don't know if they are.
Liam Coen seemed not to think the same thing.
Yeah, I think everyone thinks that Houston game was the reason why they curb stomped the Colts.
Yeah.
That Houston game made all the difference. Yeah.
But it might be why they lose the division is the point, and people kind of complain about that, and I get it. But also, you might not be in a position to win the division if not for the way that game turned out. That's just sports sometimes.
Yeah, and listen, and I get it's going to come down, and it could be a meaningful last game of the season against the Titans to get it done. Who knows? But all I know right now is you're in playoff contention. You're sitting pretty comfortable right now. Now, you can't get comfortable, obviously, but you're sitting pretty comfortable in playoff contention. Houston, can do what Houston does. Let the Jaguars do what the Jaguars do, and let the chips fall where they may. And once again, we can praise Liam Coen for a lot of things. I do appreciate how he has this team almost with blinders on a little bit. Like, they understand what Houston, where they're right now in the division, and if you lose a game, Houston wins one. What does that look like and everything? But I honestly don't think the Jaguars care right now in that locker room. Yeah. I just think they're on to New York, and it's one game at a time, and that's the way that it's got to be, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what I really came away with. My line of questioning yesterday in the locker room was, the maturity of this football team. We've seen an immature football team at times in Jacksonville. Go back to 2023. We thought they had the maturity. This isn't like immature, late for meetings and things like that. This is just hardened and been through stuff and veteran team and know how to handle certain situations. Again, this goes back to Liam a bit. I don't know how he knows how to handle these situations as a head man, but he seems like he's doing it. And then on top of that, it seems like this football team now knows how to do it. Like those battles from 22 and 23, the Josh Hines Allen of the world, the trickle down there. Eric Armstead already knows that stuff. Murray knows that stuff. Jordan Lewis knows that stuff. Been through it. And then on the other side, you've got Trevor Lawrence, who knows that. Travis Etienne. There are enough guys that have been through it where they didn't know how to close, didn't know how to finish, and now feel like they are hardened. Their maturity to handle this kind of moment was really big. And to get back to what I started the show with, you have no idea how they're going to show up over the years in games like this. Well, now I do think I think they proved it again yesterday. They're going to show up. And not only show up, but they're going to really deliver. I think it's fair enough to ask how the opposition is going to show up, especially the Indianapolis Colts here in Jacksonville.
Oh, I mean, listen, if I'm that position right now, if I'm the Broncos coming up, you better sit Bo Nix or something. Because, there's a reverse curse right now going on with this Jaguars team. Where, if you're going to play the Jaguars, you're probably going to have some of your guys be down. So maybe if you're the Broncos, hey, go and rest. Maybe just take the L and go in healthy to the playoffs. Then play against the Jaguars right now, because for years and years it seemed like this team was cursed and everything. Now it almost seems like if you're playing the Jags, you're going to have to deal with some stuff. Real quick, you mentioned the defense and everything with Liam Coen, and I watched the broadcast back this morning. I thought it was really telling what J.J. Watt, obviously he must have talked to Liam Coen, what he was talking about, I think it was in the third or fourth quarter, in terms of Liam Coen letting the defense do their own thing. He was saying how when Liam Coen first got in, he wanted to make a habit of going in the meeting rooms with the defense, kind of overwatching them a little bit because he is the head coach, right? He is the culture builder, so he wanted to kind of have his fingerprint on this defense. And then I can't remember what JJ said, but I think it might have been the Houston game or something. He decided, you know what, I got to focus more on the offense. I'll let Coach Camp do the defense, and I'll be a little more hands-off with it. And it seems like since Liam Coen did that, you've seen a major difference. So, once again, props, because I feel like there's some coaches where it's like, well, I don't care. I'm the head coach. I got to be watching this. Why aren't you guys playing well? And we heard Liam Coen be critical of that Jags defense during that Texans game. But ever since that game, it seems like, the offense has improved and the defense has improved. And I wonder if there is a lot to be said about Liam Coen kind of pulling back a little bit and saying, hey, Coach Camp, I trust you. Do your thing over here. I'll do my thing over here, and we'll see you in the locker room.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I heard that too from J.J. Watt, and I think it was around the bye week, and so it still kind of coincides with around this whole turnaround stuff. But it's interesting to me to hear that, because also Liam Coen getting praised at times for knowing every part of not just an offensive guy, right? Being around the defense, being around special teams. Trevor Lawrence did it again yesterday in the postgame. He's like, he knows everything. Like, he knows the plan in and out, not just the offensive plan. And it takes me back to Doug Peterson. Again, this isn't a knock on Doug Peterson, but I just think the dynamic is different, where Doug thought in 22 and I think in 23, both years, but I can't remember which time frame it was, that he had to kind of step in a little bit in the defensive meetings. Mike Caldwell was a first-time defensive coordinator, and I don't think Doug was super comfortable with everything that was going on there. And he started just the opposite of what Coen did. He started hands-off, like he was never in there. But then he had to go in there a little bit and thought he had to at least, say a few things or put his opinion in the mix and help things. So there was that element where now Liam does just the opposite and says, listen, I got to get this damn offense going. right?
Yep.
And you guys do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. But both gentlemen, in regards to head coach, basically play caller, and also defensive coordinator running the defense, did a similar thing. They started to simplify. And they figured out what they're doing well, what they're not doing well. And all teams do this throughout the course of the year, specifically around the bye week. But whatever they did, they have figured out pretty well because the defense is playing faster and better, and obviously the offense is playing better. I mean, it's amazing now. The offense has 25-plus points in, I think, 8 games this year, which is the most in franchise history in a season already. Mm-hmm. But Jags had some awesome offenses back in the late 90s now. So that's really impressive. And, again, I still think there are some things left out there on offense. I mean, you're not looking at their offense and you're like, holy cow, what an offense, right? This isn't Stafford and Puka Nacua or Buffalo Josh Allen and you name it, or Burrow and Chase. Yet they're putting up these kind of numbers, 6 consecutive games of 25-plus. So it's, I think it goes back to coaching, Austin. That's why I kind of wanted to jump in with that right today. I don't know where he is in the coach of the year ranks, whatever. I mean, he should be in the mix. We all know that. It's an unbelievable turnaround. Mm-hmm. But it's really the in-season adjustments that I think make a great coach. And I'll also give James Gladstone credit here, too, because our little walk around the field, he said it. The good teams evolve in the offseason. The great teams evolve in the middle of the season. And they went and got Jacoby Myers, and Jacoby Myers has been a huge difference maker, and he's helping out Brian Thomas Jr., by the way, too, because BTJ had a big day yesterday.
No, without a doubt. And whether it's in nature, whether it's with football, it's not the fastest team, it's not the strongest team. It's the team that's willing to adapt the most that's going to survive. And this team, I think, when you look at for how they started with injuries and everything, 2 players going down, 2 players not being able to, obviously go on IR and everything, to where they are now, I don't think anybody's really maybe adapted more than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, yes, injuries happen, and I get it. Like, losing Strange was big, right? You got to overcome that. Losing your first-round pick that you invested a lot of capital in is big. This team found answers, whether it was with Morris when Strange was out. This team found answers getting Jacoby Myers. Like, this team has always showed the ability to adapt when things aren't going their way. And I think that more than anything, especially this year where no one's the clear-cut favorite in the AFC or NFC, I think that ability to adapt is going to pay dividends in the end. And I think that the Jaguars definitely, you want to talk about an identity right now? That's one of their biggest identities, is the fact that for no rhyme or reason, well, I guess there's a rhyme or reason, but sometimes they can't run the football, that's fine. Now you got Trevor Lawrence. Sometimes they can't pass the football, that's fine. We got Travis Etienne. Like, this team will find a way. And going into a playoff run, that's maybe the biggest intangible that you want on your football team.
It's unbelievable. I think Cleetwood brings it up, and I want to get to this message because I think this is such a big deal, how the other players are stepping up when other guys go down, right? Cole Van Laden has been unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Tim Patrick has done a good job. De'Ami Brown, obviously, whatever's going on there, so Tim Patrick's more involved. Buster Brown, Antonio Johnson. The development of Antonio Johnson, just look at the course of this year over the last 6-7 weeks, has been remarkable. Really getting him to play some of his best, well, definitely his best football of his career. So, but
Strigow played the second most snaps of anybody on the D line yesterday.
Did he really?
50%.
And he had a sack taken away because of the penalty. And finding guys like that, whether it's B.J. Green or Strigo, and going to those guys. And so many coaches won't go to those guys.
And Matt Dickerson played 46%.
By the way, he was huge on the 4th down and 1 stop.
Huge.
So to me, everything you just said, Austin.
That's starting snaps.
The epitome of what you just said is the end of the first half. Tootin' fumbles, which, you can't fumble in that spot. It's the only thing that you even let them back in the game. Because they're driving. They had runs of 11, 9, 5, and then he fumbles right around midfield. Well, then, as you know, Colts get 4th and 1. Jags get the stop and get the ball back. Game's different if Jonathan Taylor breaks one off right there, or even maybe if they get a field goal. But the drive after that, to me, was pretty remarkable. Because I think that's the drive where Trevor has a 3rd and 15, and throws it to Tim Patrick down the field, or maybe it was BTJ, but I think it was Tim Patrick. And so they overcome 3rd and 15, which means they false started.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then you get closer to the goal line, and you false start again. Mm-hmm. Jacoby Myers also had on 2nd down a drop. He never drops it. That was back toward midfield.
Across the middle, yeah.
Then on second down, they run this play, which I thought was a little dangerous, but they got right off the hands of Tim Patrick. I mean, his sister almost started tweeting about her own brother.
Oh, boy.
And then
Yikes.
on third down, now backed up. Dangerous play again. I mean, Trevor gets tackled. No field goal, no points.
Yeah.
Instead, they find the touchdown. So to me, all the things you just said, what this team kind of is all about, is right in the middle of that, like 2 minutes and 28 seconds or whatever, right at the end of the first half. Like, you take that, and that's what this team is. It's like, okay, it's not going to look great all the time. It's going to be drops, going to be a turnover or two. But quarterback, the receivers, the defense, the run, they're going to overcome it. The mental, this was an extreme physical mental toughness test. And the Jaguars won the test, passed the test in a big-time way. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. And just a couple of, we can't say that a lot about the Jags.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. But in a way, it is a throwback Jags. It is back to in my opinion, when I got here, the Jack Del Rio kind of Jags. Like that was kind of what they were hanging their hat on, at least the physical toughness side of it, And right now, the Jags get it done. Let's take a break, stay on schedule here early. How good are they? Where can this thing go? Are you going to get greedy? Should we all get greedy on the outside? Are the Colts done, number one? And is this really about Houston and the Jags? And can the Jags hold them off? Because the tiebreakers don't work in the Jaguars' favor. So 4 games to go. And the Jaguars 9-4. We'll have our Monday morning quarterback. More on Trevor Lawrence's day. The college football playoff bracket is out. Plenty of discussion on that. And discourse as well, including Notre Dame, who gets left out, then opts out of a bowl game.
See ya.
Yeah, see you for sure.
And just the NFL in general is pretty wild right now. I mean, the NFL is built on parity and drama and the unknown. Boy, do they have it this year. Imagine being a Chicago Bears fan. The euphoria of the top seed. They'll only drop down to the bottom because of a 4th and 1 play.
Craziness.
I mean, that's the league right now.
Yeah.
That's how tight this damn thing is. We'll be back on the Brent and Austen Show. Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy.
Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown!
Duval! Etienne is going to take it all the way!
Right here on CBS 47.
CBS 47.
Right here. Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Time for the Monday Morning Quarterback Report, driven by your local Hyundai dealers. And now there's even more to love. And, well, you got to love where the Jaguars are right now. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby, and hopefully it dried off after yesterday. I'll tell you what, obviously the place wasn't jam-packed with the weather the way it was. I'm hoping it would have been jam-packed if it was a bit of a nicer day with everything that was on the line. But those folks that were there were loud, like loud right from the jump. And that's the one thing. I mean, they get loud, even when it's not 65,000. Now, hopefully, it's supposed to be a beautiful day on Sunday against the Jets, and I know it doesn't feel as big of a game, but I hope to see everybody there because we've got two more chances at maybe at the most, right? Tennessee, the end of it in this one, and got a 9-4 football team that's fun to watch. So hopefully everybody be out there. And again, the forecast does look pretty good for next week. It was kind of a miserable day out there yesterday overall. Hats off to the grounds crew and everybody taking care of the field. That thing looked awesome. It was a new field of I think they had it for the Chargers game too, I believe. But I don't remember seeing anybody slip.
No, I don't think so. Well, what was the sideline incident where the Colts player got hurt in the first half?
Oh, yeah, I think that was on a punt return.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
sure. But,
sure.
He got hit. I can't remember if he actually, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
No, Daniel Jones maybe slid a little bit when he was running towards the sideline, but I think that was more him just kind of coming up.
Dialing down.
But you saw it.
Fibula, yeah.
Dude, I called it, too. When he ran to the sidelines, because I'm playing my friend in fantasy, and he had Daniel Jones, I go, dude, he ain't making it the whole game. Because you could tell. He
started the limp there, yeah.
Well, you could tell when he kind of slowed down, I'm like, oh, that leg ain't feeling that good.
Yeah.
And then
he gets the other one.
Well, yeah, I think you're kind of overcompensating.
Is that what people are tying it to? I mean, I know that's logic, but I don't know if that's medically correct.
I don't know if it's medically correct or not. I just know that you could tell when he ran to the sidelines, like he was laboring that one, but then he was kind of limping on the other one. Like, I think it was just kind of like a ticking time bomb, just waiting to happen. And but like I said, I don't think he had any business being out there in the first place. I mean, I appreciate the toughness and how he walked off the field with a torn Achilles. I have no idea.
I was surprised at that, too. It made me question whether it was really a torn Achilles, but I guess you can do that, too. Like ACLs and even Achilles, I guess you can walk, which is a bit surprising. Because I feel like the Achilles would be so painful. That's what I've heard. Really painful. But maybe it's not as bad as I thought. And he came back out on the sideline, too, in the boot. So he's done for the year. And I guess, like, are the Colts done for the year?
I think the Colts are going to be done for a while.
Yeah.
Because think about it. You don't have him next year, so are you going to re-sign him?
Well, yeah. I mean, he might have cost himself, somebody said he might have cost himself $100 million.
Yes.
Like,
and then you traded away 2 first-round picks. So what's the plan next year for the quarterback position with the Colts?
I thought Riley Leonard, I know it was just a small sample, I thought he looked pretty good. I thought he played pretty. You didn't think so?
Yeah, he's fine.
Well,
I mean, listen.
The fact that you were trotting a guy out there that you know has a broken leg.
I know, man.
And you choose not to have an emergency third quarterback. So Tyler Warren would have been the guy.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Had Riley Leonard gone down because of the orbital fracture of Anthony Richardson, that freak injury and warm-ups all the way back. Like, that's ridiculous. Hey, Carly Ursay-Gordon. How about some oversight there? Why don't we have another quarterback available?
Yeah, she's lost her shine a little bit.
Oh, she lost all her shine. Because listen, like you were literally like 3 weeks ago, you thought you were one Sauce Gardner away from going to the Super Bowl, and now your team's in shambles. And I think they are done this year. Like I don't, that's fine. Like the kid came in and did all right from Notre Dame, but he's not going to lead them on a playoff run.
No, he's not. Yeah, they're in.
They're
again,
done.
The Sauce Gardner move puts them in a really hard spot too, because you're right. They thought they were that good, and listen, we've debated a little bit of this. I thought they were. I didn't think they were frauds. I just didn't think they were as good as they were because of the schedule. Now they took care of business. Well, the schedule's caught up with them, and now injuries have caught up with them too. It's hard for me to just sit here and be like, "See, I told you so." Well, they've been without DeForest Buckner, without Sauce Gardner, now without their quarterback.
Their quarterback's leg fell off.
So I mean, but. The reality is they were going to have to handle this part of the schedule anyway, and I think the Jags were going to beat Indy yesterday with or without Daniel Jones. And quite frankly, I think Seattle was going to beat them this week with or without Daniel Jones. And I think San Francisco will be an interesting game. What really changes probably the last 2 games in the division and where they could win at home, and now you're like, they might be dead by then. Like the Colts just might be so far gone that they're out.
And I'm not trying to like look ahead or anything, but like I'll be honest, I'm not really worried about playing Indy now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as daunting for sure. Although Taylor's always played better up there against the Jaguars, so as long as he's healthy, they got to
engage 8. Then do what you got to do, blitz everybody.
Well, so that brings me to really the story right now. It's 9 wins. If you were positive, you predicted 9 wins this year for the Jags, maybe got them to a 10th. They're at 9 on December 8th. What are they getting to? What do you think? Next 4 games, we know the Jets, they're an 11.5-point favorite, which apparently is the biggest spread at home for the Jags in a game as a favorite since 2007.
Eesh.
And the Jets didn't look good yesterday. They don't have a quarterback right now.
Who's their quarterback that was in?
Brady Cook.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Tyrod Taylor, he can't play more than like 6 quarters without getting hurt, seems like. And I don't know if he's going to be out, but Justin Fields could be back, I guess, for this game. Who knows?
Actually, I'm not going to say anything, man, because I do that, and then that fool's going to come in and look like Michael Vick again. No, we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully Justin Fields doesn't play. I'm worried about him.
And then you go to Denver, and again, Denver's been very good, but it's going to be a close game in Denver, I would think, because they play close games, and the Jags, I think, are going to be in every game. We'll see what the weather is there. But I think the Jags are built for weather, but the way they play. And then obviously you got the Colts up there, which looks way better than it did about 24 hours ago.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously Tennessee, which I know Tennessee did what they did inexplicably yesterday. But I still would love the Jags here over Tennessee. So what do you think? I mean, are they winning 3 or 4? Do they legit have a chance to finish this season, running 8 straight?
I mean, it would be great. I think more realistically, it's going to be 3 and 4. I mean, so 3 or 4. Yeah, I think the Broncos game could be a little hard, depending on if there's going to be snow and everything. And I get maybe they are the hard-nosed team, but Denver's defense, like, I think when you play top-tier defenses, that might be like the last test for the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And they did great against Houston, for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
But can you play a full, complete game now against a top-tier defense? That might be like the last question, and then we'll roll from there. So I think realistically, if we're talking about 3 out of 4 wins, that's what it should be.
Yeah, and if you get 3 out of 4, that gets you to 12, which, by the way, this Jags franchise has been 11-plus wins just 5 times in franchise history. I think it's 97, 98, 99, 2005, and 2007. So 11, last time they won 11 came in 2007. I think last time they won 12 came in 2005. I looked up yesterday. So you're talking about that kind of uncharted territory over the last couple of decades for this franchise that right now you think they do get to 11 at a minimum, even if they were to lose the Colts up in that game and then in Denver on the road. But I think, Hamby, you agree with that? I mean, it's hard to pencil a team in to win 8 in a row, right?
Yeah, I actually, you feel like you're still due.
I think, though, and I know this is hard to say right now because they've been really good, and they're dangerous. Mm-hmm. If there's a team I don't want to play right now, it's Houston. I just don't want to play them because I know the way the Jags play against them, and they have the one thing that is for certain in the AFC. They have an incredible defense, and it plays every week. Everybody else, you really don't know what they're going to bring every week, I don't think.
Yeah.
But you know that. So, but I do feel like the way the NFL is, I still think Houston's going to lose another game. I think they might lose, like, let's say the Chargers game. I know it doesn't look great on paper because I wouldn't like their offensive line against Houston. But I also like Arizona. I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona jumps up and beat. It's just the way the league works. Mm-hmm. So I'd be surprised. I think they've won 5 in a row. I think Houston has.
Houston has.
I'd be surprised if they finish with 9 in a row. I'd be surprised if the Jags finish with 8 in a row.
Same.
So I do feel like if they would slip up once, that gives the Jags some leniency here and a little bit of a window to at least take 3 out of 4, lose the Denver game, and still win the division, get a home game.
No, for sure. And here's the thing, too. Like, I would be surprised. I would be shocked if the Jaguars don't win in 3 out of 4 games. Like, I'll be shocked. If the Titans somehow beat them, if the Colts somehow beat them, if the Jets somehow beat them, like, I'll literally be shocked. Because, like, I don't see how it's going to go. Now, on the other side with Houston, like, yeah, they have a much harder challenge up there. So I would be surprised if they run the table. I'll take surprised over shocked. Like, I don't think the Jaguars are going to lose 2 of these games. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. Yeah, they're going to be the favorites to do so. Heavy favorites against Tennessee and the Jets. You got to take care of business. And again, this has been a team that's taken care of business, so you appreciate that. And then really just one of the 2, I guess, to get you 3 out of 4. But you do like the Indy game right now. I'm just not going to. I want to see what Indy looks like over these next couple of weeks because again, it's the NFL. Like maybe they figure something out. Maybe
it's Riley Leonard.
You. I know. It's Jonathan Taylor. Like, and they'll have DeForest Buckner and Sauce Gardner back by that time too. It'll be a different looking team.
Will they go make a move to get a quarterback? I wonder.
I don't think so.
What can they do?
What could they do?
Well, first of all, they have to get a backup.
Well, so they got Brett Rippon on the practice squad. I mean, they have bodies. They have bodies, but they got Riley Leonard and Brett Rippon right now. Maybe they have to sign somebody else.
Jameis season.
And I don't know when Anthony. Yeah, but you can't trade.
I think they can coke something into cover.
What do you think Carly Ursay is going to what?
Yeah. Can you please drop him?
Get in her earpiece and be like, hey, can we get Jameis, please? That's not how it works.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think, keep in mind, just so everybody knows, here's the tie-break situation that obviously go head-to-head. Well, it's 1-1 head-to-head. Then you go to the division. Well, Houston's 5-1 in the division, assuming they beat the Colts at the end of the year. So the Jags would then have to beat the Colts and the Titans to get to 5-1 in the division. The next tiebreaker, which I thought was the AFC, but it's not. The next tiebreaker is common opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the game that could change that, there are two games that still could change the common opponent one. That's Denver. So if the Jags could beat Denver and Houston lost to them. But if there's a tiebreaker, that means they would have lost to the Colts or something, and Houston beat them. So in the Chargers game, the Houston lost to them. So I think if Houston loses to the Chargers, we might not be talking about this situation anyway.
Oh, God, with this.
Right? So the bottom line is the only way the Jags can win a tiebreaker against Houston, the way I figured it out, is if they actually lose to the Jets and win the last 3 games, end up with a tie, and then the common opponent one, they would have the edge over Denver versus Houston because Denver lost to Houston. I mean, Houston lost to Denver. Right. So I figured that out. So the bottom line is the Jags have to finish a game ahead of Houston to win the division.
So it looks like Denver is, that's about make or break as far as the division goes.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you got to win. You got to win out to control the destiny, or you got to hope that Houston loses one game. Like that's it right now. I mean, it's pretty simple, really. I know this looks complicated, Austin.
Yep.
It's pretty simple. It's like the Jags win out, they obviously win the division.
Cool.
If they don't win out, they need Houston to lose one more time.
Yeah, let's just win the rest of the games. We have to break that down again. Let's just go 4-0.
That wasn't even that complicated.
A little complicated. Houston, you talk about the Chargers then.
People like this stuff. You don't, but people like this stuff. They're figuring out all these tiebreakers. Go 4-0, Delphonic says. Can you imagine if the Jags go 4-0 and win 13 games this year? Like,
crazy.
I've got a little problem even wrapping my head around that.
Insane.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Then it's Coach of the Year. I don't care what the Patriots finish at. I think.
That's just like
to be
unexplained heater. That's what that is, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on. After the Texans game, we said the season was over.
Yeah.
And just going to rattle off, 8 in a row that would be?
8 in a row.
That's not possible.
And the reality is if they did that, if you really want to dream big, which right now they're a good football team, so what the hell, go for it. I think they would put themselves in a position. I haven't done tiebreakers with the Patriots or the Broncos, but they would really put themselves in a position. Obviously, they'd have it over the Broncos.
Yeah, they'd be the 2, right?
Or one of those teams would have to go 14 wins, which is highly unlikely, I still think. So,
but okay, so where it sits right now, if the Jaguars finish 3rd, they're playing the Chargers right now in the playoffs. Because that's all I care about in terms of like the analytic, like winning and stuff. Like
who are they playing?
Who they play?
That's a good question. I feel like I should know that.
Because I feel like if they're 3rd, then right now they play the Chargers.
They do.
If they get 2nd,
they would play the Texans.
Texans right now.
As of now.
But
based off of the schedules, it looks like the Texans would move up to the 6.
Texans could all the way move up to 5, in fact.
Right.
With Buffalo.
So then you'd play either Buffalo or Pittsburgh if the Texans moved up.
Buffalo or the Chargers.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Pittsburgh.
Okay, so they won the division. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man. See, this is the part to me. There's 2 things to go at here. Obviously, how high can you get, which would be pretty cool. But the other part of it is, listen, you just got to make the playoffs, which means you got to win 2 more games, I think, right now. That's the one thing that Chiefs loss did, is essentially if you win 2 games, if you beat the Jets and Titans only, you're pretty much locked into the playoffs.
Right.
The way the schedules would line up for everybody else. So that's the first thing. And really, I don't know if I'd feel that much more confident playing anybody than somebody else. Like, I think it's that wide open in the AFC. I told you this a couple weeks ago, I would sign up right now to play the New England Patriots in the first round of the playoffs in New England and feel pretty good about it. But I also could sit there as the Jags as a number 2 seed, have to play Houston or the Chargers or Buffalo and feel about the same. Like, I'm not sure I feel that much better about being at home and playing the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs than I would about playing the Patriots at Gillette in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not.
And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think it's like, I don't feel Buffalo. Great either way. It's that wide open.
No, for sure. Yeah, and Buffalo, I mean, listen, you put up, how many points this yesterday? I watched the game. They put
39,
up
39, 35, I think.
Snow, yeah.
Tiptoeing in this. I don't know how, that game was crazy.
That game was crazy.
That game was insane.
So, I mean, the wild card, as far as not the seeds, but the teams, is almost set. Like, unless you think that the Colts are going to
Can
survive
salvage it.
this,
Yeah.
they're out.
They're out.
Then unless you think the Chiefs are going to somehow figure it out,
There we go.
and this should be 6-7 now. This was before the loss last night because the Houston's 8-5. So
I have no idea where Ronan gets it from.
What's that? Oh, me? Oh, yeah, man. Oh, dude, just wait. It's probably more of a conversation tomorrow.
The Steelers and the Ravens, you can just swap out because
All right.
the division.
Don't worry about it.
He just swapped his dad's story out. Hold on.
Yeah, he said wait for tomorrow.
I want to tease.
He's gonna tease
I want to
it. It's all
tease.
good, man.
Go
I
ahead,
want
go
to
ahead.
tease.
No,
It's
Let me
our
get a
show.
better graphic
It isn't
anyway.
a Hamby show.
You ruined it.
This
You
isn't
ruined
Hamby
it.
show.
Nope, you ruined it.
I want to tease.
You ruined it. I'm gonna have a giant panic button tomorrow though, because the youth has failed, Brent. Like I'm telling you right now, I went to see Five Nights at Freddy's, the second one.
Didn't know there was a first, but okay.
There was a first one.
We're in trouble.
I have video. Yeah, we're in trouble. We'll put it at that.
Okay.
We're in absolute trouble.
Thank you for the tease. I'm
welcome.
intrigued.
Yeah, you're cool. All right, Hamby, back to your graphic.
Go back. But I hear what you're saying, Hamby. Essentially,
The teams are
unless
set.
Indianapolis, based on how people feel, and which is a dangerous thing in the NFL, but with logic speaking, the Indianapolis Colts don't look like they're going to win 3 out of the next 4 down the stretch to keep them in this mix. But right now, they're the only team that looks like they can do it, or you've got 7 teams that are already pretty much locked in the way people feel. The only other one here is the Chargers could melt a bit. They play the Eagles tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then they play the Chiefs. Then they play the Cowboys.
Here comes Miami.
Then they play the Texans.
Here comes Miami.
Then they play the Broncos.
Here come your Miami Dolphins.
So the Chargers still have some work to do, as beat up as they are, and we don't even know right if Justin Herbert's playing tonight.
So the door is not hypothetically closed on the Chiefs.
Come on with this.
Well, they got a 16% chance still, and I think that's why.
Oh, my God.
Would have had about a 50% chance they didn't go for it on 4th and 1 of their own freaking
I'm not
2.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I thought the Chiefs were done. Like, I thought they were mathematically, like, I didn't know, like, they're literally a Chargers collapse away from maybe rejoining the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which could happen.
I don't think the Dolphins, I don't know what the Dolphins' percentages are. Like, their schedule's way better for them to get to 10 wins, but I don't know who mathematically now. Again, Baltimore and like the Steelers, they play again. They're going to beat each other up a little bit. I mean, Kansas City and the Dolphins could theoretically win out still. You don't think that's going to happen with Indianapolis or win 3 out of 4. So
let Mac McDaniel find his way into the playoffs.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think Indy's going to win again. I mean, I get it's week by week, but like, I don't.
Yeah, they might not. They might not. So I do think the Chargers are still a little bit on a weird bubble based on their schedule, even though they look pretty good right now. Mm-hmm. Their schedule is real. I mean, to say it again, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, Broncos.
So that would make you think if they're in, they're the 7. Because
Probably.
the Texans have such a favorable, they could either be the 5 or the 6, or the Bills would either be the 5 or the 6.
Yeah.
So the winner of the division, if it is the Jags, it's Bills or Texans.
Yeah.
And it's hosting.
Yeah, I think that would be a fair way to say it. That's most likely. So, hey, pretty cool to be able to talk about it here in mid-December. We asked the Jags to get us to this time of year. They have, and they're going to get us to January. It certainly looks like it. Again, on top of that, you got to stay healthy, right? And I do think that's what's they look like an ascending football team still, to me, and a getting healthier football team because Murray comes back, makes a play. I mean, Trayvon Walker, I thought it was significant having him back. Eric Armstead's playing with a club on his hand. I don't think his snap total was very high, but they have found like I think it was Cleetwood who said it earlier. I mean, these guys have really stepped in. The BJ Greens, Strigo, Rayon Lane, Buster Brown, Jarian Jones, like whoever they put out there right now, it seems like they're playing with their hair on fire. The offensive line, whatever mix they throw in, I think that's an underrated part of yesterday, is the offensive line who did not play well a week ago against Tennessee. You talk about who got inspired to play well, nobody will talk about it much, but Trevor didn't get hit. It wasn't a QB hit on Trevor Lawrence, at least statistically. No sacks.
We going to keep Cole Van Lannon as the starting left tackle, or what's going to happen with that?
Might.
I'm just saying.
He's been awesome.
Pretty good.
He's been awesome.
Pretty good.
And I'll just say one other thing here is they did not have Parker Washington yesterday. And I think he's coming back. So, and if you really want to look down the road, and I know everybody says, hey, the Jags are getting breaks, and the Jags have also lost a lot of players 2 games this year. I don't know how many games they've lost compared to the rest of the league. I think the break the Jags have had from an injury standpoint is they've only lost, 1 player to IR.
Well,
and that's Travis Hunter,
but
the guy that was supposed to make a huge impact. And when we got back from London, we said he's the best player on offense and defense for you right now.
We did say that.
Well, of course, yes. But I think the biggest break and all the wood is that Trevor's been healthy.
Yes, he's been good.
That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Enough said.
And they've been healthy enough.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big deal. So that's going to stay that way, and we know that. All right, let's take a break. That is your Monday Morning Quarterback Report, driven by your local Hyundai dealers. And now there's even more to love. What's the name of it again? Five
Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Is that in theaters?
Just came out the theaters.
All right.
Needs to go ahead and leave theaters immediately.
I might have to get to that more today rather than tomorrow.
I got the ocular proof, Brent.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Ocular proof.
I was in Dante's ninth circle of hell. I'll just say that much. It was bad. It was so bad.
Like
Dad of the year right here. And I don't like toot my own horn. I better be in the running.
Really?
That's all I'm going to say.
Wow, you got better chance at Dad of the Year than Liam as a coach of the year.
It's close. Unless there's another Mike Vrabel out there for a dad. I don't know. I like my chances.
I have never vouched for Dad of the Year.
I was, yeah.
What?
We'll talk about
I'm glad you got it.
The Inferno? Is that what you're saying?
Dante's Inferno?
Yeah,
Yes.
Just like Zach Brown's concert at the Sphere.
Oh, well, people got too much time on their hands to break that down. But yeah, I hear you. I saw that.
I didn't.
It's Zach Brown's in it right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Zach Brown Band?
Zach Brown Band, man.
Brent, he literally put the people in
Here we go.
hell.
Here we go.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone's saying he's part of just look into it. He's fine.
I'd rather not
It's the
know.
It's the ignorance is bliss, right?
Yes.
There you go.
I'd rather not.
Whatever it is.
There you go.
Talk more Jags. What about that Andy Reid decision? What about the Chiefs? What about that Bills and Bengals game? What about Lamar? What's going on with these quarterbacks? And why is quarterbacking so hard to play this year?
We're doing fine here?
We're doing fine now. Trevor ascending. Everybody else not, it feels like. Plus some college football conversation because there's about 14 angles of that one. We were already having it in the break. We'll be right back.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep, can't eat. You see that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $100 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Hey guys, we got a new player today. I hear he's pretty good.
Heard this guy played in the NFL.
I think he's an MMA fighter. I've actually been on his show, the Brent and Austen show.
Football and fighting, that's the easy part. Let's see if I still have it on the ice. What the heck, man? Who is this guy? He's saving everything.
Leave the hockey to the pros, man. It's hockey season. Come on out and see the Icemen play. Get your tickets at jacksonvilleicemen.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Welcome back, Brent and Austen.
Well done.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that was a fun day. Shooting that commercial and everything, and Brent obviously did his thing in goal as well, dude. It's one of those things where you know, like, you don't want to get anybody's way. Like, yeah, do I love playing hockey? Absolutely. Was it fun skating around there? For sure. But like, I don't want to like get in the way. That, like, those guys were like, "Hey man, come shoot with us a little bit." I'm like, dude, I don't want to mess up your guys' flow and everything. But hockey players are cool, man. You know, like, and I talked about it after the shoot and everything. We came on the show. Might be one of the coolest like sports in terms of a locker room that you got. You know, like, just like I don't know. I don't know if there's like a humbleness to it. I mean, there's probably a little humble when you're playing how many games a season and you're getting your body banged up, you're getting in fights and everything. But like, hockey players are just built different, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
love them. That was fun.
Yep.
It actually caught me by surprise.
That was the debut of that spot.
Oh, that was great, man. Yeah,
like
we loved it. Yeah,
it
was
looked good.
It was great. It was great.
You look good on ice.
Thank you, Marcel. Oh, that was all AI. I wasn't actually skating.
I actually didn't expect to see you in goal. Right.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's kind of part of the deal.
So success.
Success. That's good. Yeah, we had fun with that one.
Yeah.
More to come, hopefully. By the way, Jacksonville Icemen home. They won on Saturday night, and they are home on Friday and Saturday this week. Saturday on MyTV Jax. I think it's Teddy Bear Toss night on Saturday. And so you can watch on MyTV Jax if you can't get out, but hopefully you can get out to the arena Friday and Saturday as the Icemen are back home. A couple other things. University of North Florida lost to Gonzaga last night. They obviously continued their tough schedule. We'll have Talent Talk tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network weekly at 2, checking in with the UNF Ospreys. The big story, as you know, the Jaguars get the win. A couple other things, we continue to break down the Jags for hours and hours and days. But part of the Houston win last night, which continues to be impressive, is the Chiefs are just not good. The Chiefs, quite frankly, are pretty bad right now. And I thought Andy Reid, which you don't see this very much, panicked. I don't understand what he was doing at the time, going for it where he did on the field on 4th and 1. And I think I have a bigger problem with the fact that he doesn't seem like he's scheming up a lot of plays. Like Doug Peterson talks about how much of a genius he is, and we know he schemed up plays before. But like what they're doing on offense, specifically against that defense, hadn't been working anyway, and really has been a bit clunky all season. And it feels like he's just doing the old draw it up in the dirt, drop back, and throw on 4th and 1. Yeah. I was just surprised at the play call. Should they catch the football more? Yeah, but still, the whole choice. At that time, Houston had 20 yards of offense in the second half. I mean, Houston's offense isn't very good.
Kick the ball
away. You still got 7 or 8 minutes to go, and they panicked. It was really weird to see Kansas City panic. And then I think that kind of relayed all the way through. Travis Kelce can't catch the football a couple of times. Everything looks sped up.
Well, their offensive line's in shambles.
Oh, they are in shambles.
Rice couldn't catch it either.
Well, I think their offensive line, being what they are, kind of limits what Andy Reid can even do with
that's
that
a fair point. That's a fair point.
Because I mean, they're like the Chargers.
They just look so normal.
Yeah.
They look like a really normal team, which then makes Patrick Mahomes, quite frankly, he can't do everything. Like he can't do it all. And this isn't like, oh my gosh, Patrick Mahomes, look at him, stinks, 14 for 33. But he was 14 for 33. Now I think they had 6 drops. But 14 for 33 is just incredible. And 3 picks, So he's trying to do too much at this point. I think they're done. I think they felt like they've been done for a long time. I think they got a little bit fortunate last year with winning all the close games, and we thought they didn't feel like they were unbelievable. But I think a lot of people are happy that they're probably not going to be in the postseason. Yet, at this stage, I feel like I'd rather play them than a couple of teams in the postseason for obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It is weird, man, and I get like Mahomes doesn't have the best numbers this year, and he's definitely running a lot more than he ever has before just because I feel like he feels like he has to do that. But it was weird last night because, once again, I get the Chiefs are mathematically still in the playoffs, but that was kind of the must-win, it felt like.
Absolutely.
At home.
At home
on prime time. Like, every other year you feel like the Chiefs win that game. Like, they've lost it, man. They've lost a step, and I think it's finally okay to admit that. Now, once again, I say that, and they're going to somehow bounce in the play. I'm still a little worried about it, but it just they aren't the same team. Like, their defense isn't the same. Kelsey's obviously not the same. He's been last year he wasn't that great either, but and even like the guys that they're counting on to pick up the slack, like a Noah Gray, like he couldn't catch last night. It's just this team, and then by the way, they can't really run the football like we talked about all year.
Yeah, haven't been able to do that. Yeah,
they're just not a good team.
They're just not a good team.
That's good. I mean, you obviously got a great player and a great coach, but that's not good enough.
They
can't do it alone.
Is struggling because of the offensive line. You could also say he kind of makes them look worse at times by how often he just settles to throwing off of his wrong foot. I mean, he's throwing off of his right foot, stepping up in the pocket on every crucial down last night. It's like, I mean, I get you're under duress, but you could hypothetically find a way to get your feet set and try to deliver a better football. Just because it did hit the guy in the hands doesn't mean it was a great ball. And I mean, the ball to Rashee Rice he's throwing every ball off his right foot while somebody's bearing down on him, but you don't have to run into pressure every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's his MO. Like he doesn't he does things a little unorthodox.
I get it,
sometimes,
but
man.
If you're going to take a snapshot of Patrick Mahomes, that would be the snapshot, right? It's like
right.
something like that. That's kind of what you feel like, right?
Yeah.
It is true. I mean, that's normal for him. But, I mean, I get what you're saying. You can't live – it seems like every play is like that, specifically on the money downs. And that defense is just really good. Hey, don't sleep on the Seahawks now. When they look good, they look really good. And 37-9 win. They're 10-3. The Rams, unbelievable. I still think the Rams and Seahawks, and for my money, are probably the two most dangerous teams in the National Football League. Now, one has Matthew Stafford and one has Sam Darnold, and I get that. But when Darnold's on and they've got that thing cooking right, it looks really good. And meanwhile, the Rams are the Rams, and they come with some pedigree there as well. What do you make of the Bills? But that was a highly entertaining game. And I mean, Burrow makes two huge mistakes in the game. Apparently, I didn't watch it, but apparently he played brilliant. But he also made two huge mistakes that cost him the football game at the end of the day. Meanwhile, Josh Allen is sitting there running for like 80 yards in the snow.
Yeah, I had that game turned on for a while. I don't know. I'm sorry. I thought like snow games when it's coming down and like, guys are tiptoeing.
Yeah.
I didn't think like, okay, you got to pound the rock. Yeah, you got to pound the rock. And
Cue the air raid.
Bro, you had Burrow throwing 30-yard like absolute darts to T. Higgins.
I think Terry Bradshaw in the halftime was just like, the more it snows, the more you throw. I was like, what? Yeah, I've never heard that in my life.
Well, I think because it's hard to play defense. Like you can't get your footing. And so therefore, like throwing the ball, like even Trevor said it going a couple of weeks ago going into Tennessee, throwing the ball in the rain isn't that bad, or throwing the ball in the moisture, if you will, or whatever, is not that bad. Like he told me, the one he got away from Trevor on that third down trying to do like a little screen.
Yeah, Jacoby.
And it just sailed.
Yeah.
And I asked him about that in the locker room, and he's like, so the problem with that was like the ball was just sitting there for 30 seconds prior to the snap.
In the grass.
He's like, that's when it's like then you get the ball, and it's like you got no grip on it. But overall, it's manageable. And I think it's the same with the snow. But I do think you can see those guys kind of prancing in the snow because it's hard to get your footing. And really, the defender's at a huge disadvantage. So I think that's probably what Bradshaw's talking about.
I mean, maybe that is the case because you saw an offensive explosion in like 2 feet of snow, it seemed like, in Buffalo. So that made zero sense to me.
Just around the league, not really a factor, but the Browns may never win because if you can have Myles Garrett and a defense like the Browns, and you can get 364 passing yards from your quarterback, and you can't beat the Tennessee Titans, who I witnessed as one of the worst teams I've seen in a long time, and I've seen Jags teams play for a while. Like, I'd have no hope for you, Cleveland. Like, I feel for you in a way. I mean, Shedeur Sanders threw for 360 plus, and they lost. How did Tennessee? I didn't watch a lick of the game other than how did Tennessee score 31 points?
DK had one, but who was the backup?
Pollard ran.
Yeah, the running back had like 84 yards?
Yeah, was it Pollard?
Well, Pollard had 161.
Who's the backup? Is it Spears?
Spears, but he only had 19 yards.
What about receiving?
The leader was Spears with 28 yards receiving.
Okay, maybe then it must have been Pollard had that long run.
Yeah, Pollard must have. He had a 65-yarder.
Okay. Yeah.
But
gosh,
Cam Ward went 14 for 28 for 117.
How did they score 31?
How did they score 31? Did they score a defensive touchdown? Simmons had a sack and a half.
I don't know. NFL Red Zone wasn't really showcasing that game.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they did. Yeah, I have no idea how they did it. But I don't know how Cleveland lost is really my curiosity. Because when you get that from Shedeur Sanders, which, by the way, it's pretty impressive, right? 360?
Yeah.
From Sanders.
It was a geek that they did a celebration right in front of his face. He did it to them, too.
Hey, that's every single team now. Like, if you're going to play Sanders, get ready. Like, I remember when...
it wasn't even him that turned it over, too.
I remember I still have it saved on my Twitter thing. I remember when Pot Roast was coaching at... I should call him Terrence Knighton. Terrence Knighton was coaching at Nebraska, and they beat Colorado. And right after the game, you see Terrence Knighton in the back going like that. Man, like, everyone does it.
Everyone does it. Delphonic, Cleveland should be better next year since they have the first rounder from the Jags. estimated to be pick number 32.
Atta baby.
Well, they got Deshaun Watson coming back too, so good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck.
What did Josh Hines Allen say?
Yeah, do we have that actually?
We do.
We'll get to that in a moment. Okay, a couple other ones real quick. The Bucs losing to the Saints.
Dude. Hey, Survivor. Not me, but
yeah.
Tyler
a ton of people.
That would have been a hard one, right? You know what strikes me about that, and I know they've been battling injuries, but keep in mind, this is how the league changes. And this is why you can't make almost like too profound of statements month by month. You got to kind of let things go. But in the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season, Baker Mayfield was in the MVP running. Now he's like 14 for 30 for 160 yards throwing the ball. Mm-hmm. And I think they even got Mike Evans back last. Did they not get him back?
They have Chris Godwin back, but
they got Godwin back. Oh, maybe they just activated him to the practice part of that.
Yeah.
So he could be coming back. And I know they've been beat up, but they got Barkley Irving back.
Yep.
And Tampa looks messy.
Yeah, not good.
Now, that was rainy too. It was rainy in Tampa, I think, too.
Yeah, that division's wide open.
So
is it Carolina? Who's the top of the division?
Carolina
and the Bucs are both 7-6, and they played twice in the last 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, they
I think
do.
I have that right.
Yeah, 2 weeks in the last game of the season.
Do you know the whole Carolina-Jacksonville thing? Did you see that? Every time when Carolina opens up with Jacksonville, they always go to the Super Bowl. That whole thing. I remember like that was a thing. Like week 1, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, this ain't gonna happen this year because Carolina. Look at how bad they are, and now they're at top of the division. It's like, man,
imagine.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, but going back to the Bucs, that was this whole thing on Twitter yesterday as they lost to the Saints, and obviously the Jags were 9-4, and once again Liam's post game, how's that feel is kind of going viral, and Bucs fans are in shambles.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how bad their offense looks, specifically because Baker threw for 122 yesterday.
Oh, it was 122.
It was 14 to 30. And yeah, they've got nothing offensively.
I don't want to play too much into this, but I guess it is fair to ask the question: are the Bucs missing Liam Cohen? I mean, there were people that when Cohen did leave, they thought actually that they should hire Liam Cohen even right then
as the head coach
yes. to replace Bowles. That's how much some people really liked Cohen and thought they had a guy there.
And I don't think most of the Bucs fans like Bowles because he's a defensive guy who. Their MO of recent years has been outscoring people.
Yeah,
they haven't really.
And they had Arians, right? And they had they get the Brady Arians, and you're like, okay, we're going to score. Then you got Bowles, and to be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of Todd Bowles, but he's done a terrific job, way better than I thought over these last couple of years after the Brady era of really from Mayfield to his hires and that Tampa organization. I mean, look at their front office; they've done a nice job. So I'm not. I just want to don't get caught up in well they're 7-6 right now. They have battled a bunch of injuries and that hampers teams in a different way. I still think. I mean that organization got raided though. Liam Cohen, Spytech, I think even some others. So do they miss Liam Cohen? I guess maybe is a possibility.
Like Buka hadn't done crap in the last month.
He had a rough game. He had a touchdown for a drop. Like he dropped a touchdown.
He looked bad.
Okay.
Yep.
The other one to me, guys, is the Ravens. The Ravens can't seem to find it. Like the Steelers.
That just felt like a game that Tomlin was going to win, though.
Which is wild.
Because
that's what happens. But still, it's like Lamar's not doing much. And I think everybody keeps coming back to is he hurt? But how hurt is he?
He's banged up, man. Because I watched a little bit of that game yesterday, and this is towards the fourth quarter when they had to have it. He had the chance to run a couple times. He doesn't want to run.
He doesn't want to.
I don't know if it's if it's still the hamstring, if it's something else. But in the past, I feel like he always takes off when the game's on the line.
Yeah, especially that
and it's effortless. This year, it's he's always looking to use his wheels to set up a pass. So yeah, I think something's up with him.
Yeah, that's what's weird is the quarterback play. The one thing you'll notice for a lot of quarterbacks is the completion percentage seems way down in a lot of games. Not all the games, but a lot of games. And specifically once you go outside. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, if you have I haven't done this yet, but if you have outside games yesterday, go look at the completion percentage from the quarterbacks. And it's kind of what I go back to Trevor with. Trevor, to me, I thought he played awesome yesterday. And then you look up and he's 17 for 30. He still can't sniff 60% as a passer.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I feel like that was a brilliant display of quarterbacking. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't get wrapped up in the stats. It's not going to be a statistical year, I don't think, anyway, for Trevor. But he does have 18 touchdowns now against the 11 picks, so he could still get this. If he got up to 25 and 11 or 25 and 12, throws another pick, if he can be pretty clean, he's got a chance to make it look good. Plus, he's got a handful of rushing touchdowns.
Sure.
So maybe like that adds up. But again, I wouldn't even care about that.
Yeah.
If the Jags win next week, I believe I did this right. If the Jags win next week, and I think we're all comfortable with saying, hey, let's take away the Urban year. He will now be a 500 quarterback, his record.
Okay.
If the Jag for 4 seasons, minus the Urban year.
Okay.
He would have been, win-loss wise, 500 in games that he started, which I feel like in Jacksonville is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of winning. Yeah.
And 9-8, although he missed the one game against Carolina, so he was 8-8 in 23, 2-8 last year in the 10 games that they played. But right now, obviously, 9-4. He's finding ways to win, and I do think from that standpoint, you're asking for a guy to elevate the franchise, and I think he has brought some of those winning ways, which is what I thought he would do. He hardly lost in high school and college, and he's figuring out ways to win. And I do like this part of it about Trevor is, like you said, it's a Trevor Lawrence game. The 2 biggest games of the year, this one the most important. The biggest one was the Monday Nighter. He's probably turned in his 2 best games of the year. I thought he played his best game, one of his best games against the Chiefs.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, helped them win it. Yeah, for sure.
So and he's got the. So it's not like it's too big for him. Is the point? Like those are the games where he seems to kind of embrace it.
Yeah,
and turn it on, which I think is a good trait to have for the quarterback.
Yeah, no. At the end of the day, I mean, over EPA, over touchdowns, like wins and losses. And right now, like the wins are starting to add up. And that's the most important part.
Well, if you like the Daniel Griffiths kind of numbers, I retweeted this one from him. If you're a Trevor fan, QB success rate in the last 5 weeks, Matthew Stafford number 1, Trevor Lawrence number 2 in the National Football League.
Out of play.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Do we have the breakdown or not?
I don't even know what it means.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
He's successful.
He's successful.
You love to see it.
Success is good. So there is that. The other one to talk about here for the Jags, we just mentioned Egbuka. What about Brian Thomas Jr.'s performance?
Oh, yeah.
Did he find something? Has he found something? Is he back? A lot of people like BTJ's back. I'll tell you this now, if I'm being honest. It's a good thing they ruled that a catch on the sideline.
It was not.
Yeah, that was a hard one. I don't understand completely why that was a catch. I don't know if I saw all the right angles. But the bottom line is that has to be a catch from your wide receiver, and he almost dropped it. Now, he makes the one-handed catch, which was beautiful, but he, in my opinion, he needs to make that catch that he did, and thankfully it's ruled a catch because he needs to continue the momentum. He needs to keep building equity with Trevor and with Liam Cohen and with this new brass, but he also needs that for his confidence, that he can come out of a game and say, I went 3 for 87, 29 yards per, made big plays down the field. That's what I'm here for. And that catch avoided, but he also dropped that one.
Yeah, I think, and the reason I'll call this the Trevor game, because the one thing that we've been asking of this offense, they delivered on, I believe, every single quarter. Every quarter they had a deep ball completion.
Yeah.
And that's something we haven't seen a lot from this team. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. has a lot to do with that, right? And using his speed and what he's good at, I think helped open things up a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to say, okay, Brian Thomas Jr. is back. Like, here come the Pro Bowls. Here come the All-Pros. Like, let's just take it a game at a time here. But I thought he by far had his best game yesterday against the Colts. I mean, hands down. And if he can keep on stockpiling that now with Jacoby Myers, like, yeah, it's all there for this offense, right? Because going into this game, the one thing we questioned was, okay, well, do you have the ability to go deep, right? Everything else they can do. They showed they can do. But can you go deep? They had one deep ball in every single quarter. So now that question's answered.
Yeah. That was big. It was 37 yards. It was 39 yards. It was 30 yards. It was 26 yards. It was Tim Patrick with a couple of them. That is what this offense has been missing. Like we've said it multiple times. They're playing kind of in a box because they don't really have a threat downfield. When Brian Thomas Jr. returned, he became the threat downfield that people at least had to respect. You saw another deep shot a little bit later that they took. To try to get it to him, which, again, just taking the shots
is what we've been calling for.
Is a big deal, right? I mean, and there was another one down the field, I think, against Ward. Good coverage, and that got broken up. But that's okay. Like, that's okay. You've got to have the threat to do it. Because what happens, I think, then it really opens up, obviously, Myers, what he's doing, but I think it opens up Brenton Strange. And look at the chunks of yardage Brenton Strange has had since he's returned. He had 3 catches over 20 yards in the Arizona game. I think he had another one of them last week against the Titans. And then he had at least a 16-yard play down near the goal line to set up the Myers touchdown yesterday to make it 14-7. So I think that's what all this is doing. This is not just opening up the long game, but it's opening up these other players who can be a bit explosive in the intermediate game. You saw the Myers 50-yard catch last week. And, again, there's one other element here. I do think you feel a little bit better with Parker Washington rather than Tim Patrick out there all the time, maybe making some of those plays. And Patrick was good yesterday.
He had 5 catches for like 75 yards.
He did.
Yeah,
he did. I'm just saying, from your confidence level, I feel like it's still hit or miss with Tim Patrick, probably. But I think you feel – I mean, there's so much belief right now in Parker Washington.
Of course.
That if he's the guy you're throwing to instead, you feel better about him going up and getting one. He's the guy that's going to go up and get one for you right now. And so there's another wrinkle to this offense that we just really haven't seen the full complement of all that. I'm a little surprised, Austen, that I wonder if you ask, and I don't think he wants to give this away, but if you really ask Liam Cohen, when you go back to the bye week of what he's done in terms of making this more simple, it's almost like they've abandoned the screen game.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, we don't do this very well, and we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even really see a token one much the last few games. Because yesterday was the game where you could do it. In fact, I'll say this. I was stunned that the Colts didn't screen to Jonathan Taylor at least once or twice, especially when Riley Leonard got into the game. They didn't do it either. But, yeah, Jackson, that was a huge part of Cohen's offense.
You're not
and they're
wrong,
not even doing it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Because I just don't think they're like you said, they're not capable. And I think, like,
weird.
Need to ask him about that.
Yeah. And also surprised, I mean, did Dwamie Brown play yesterday?
No.
Well, he was active.
Well, I know he was active, but I'm saying but he didn't get on the field, did
he?
He didn't get
so
a
he
target.
Didn't play any snaps?
No.
He didn't get
no
a target.
Snaps.
0 snaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Patrick, Tim Patrick is playing football for them not because of his hands, but because of his willingness to block and his prowess as a blocker. Right?
Yeah.
And then he becomes a bit of a red zone guy. Look how many times they targeted him yesterday in the red zone.
I mean, guy's 6'5". Yeah, he's a big dude. And then once again, we talked about that before. Like, going into training camp, are they going to keep him? Like, he looks different, right? Like he does different things than these other guys can do.
Yeah. When did they get Tim Patrick? Was that right after camp, or was that a couple weeks into the season? You guys remember that? Because I forget. But I think that's a little bit of an underrated move too.
I think that was before, because
it was after. Was it after the last preseason game? Because they were.
Yeah, because he was that was after the Sean Payton was talking about, getting a 5th receiver or something like that, or trading, what's his name? What was that guy's name?
Yeah, the guy, didn't Houston make a trade for somebody, or not Houston, maybe, I don't know.
Patriots?
When does it say Tim Patrick got traded to the Jags?
All right, here we go.
Give me the date.
Traded to Jacksonville on August 27th.
August 27th.
So
Okay. So coming out of camp, right around roster time.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that one's kind of forgotten about because of the Jacoby Myers move.
Mm-hmm.
But really what the Tim Patrick move has helped do, and I know it's been a bit inconsistent at times in the passing game, fully get it, but it's really helped their run game. And Tony Baselli was on with us with Jacoby Myers on Jaguars All Access Thursday, and he said, hey, receiver, we got to go get a guy that can get open, catch the football, but here you better be able to block. And that's the case around the league. A lot of people put emphasis on that. Doug Peterson put a lot of emphasis on that too. But this guy really does it. And he doesn't like being labeled as a blocker because he's like, I can catch the football too, Tim Patrick.
Yep.
But he obviously can bring that part of the game and that physicality to the game. One other guy to at least mention is Etienne, because here he goes now, 9-17, 7 touchdowns. The touchdowns are starting to add up for Travis Etienne. And I thought he looked dynamic again. The 4-yard touchdown run, boom. And then obviously the 28-yarder was a big play. But then he ripped off 11 yards and 9 yards before the Tootin fumble. There were some big runs out of Travis Etienne yesterday.
You want me to say it again, or are we good for this week? I could probably say it again, right?
Keep saying it.
Gonna resign him, or what are we thinking here?
Tootin only 2 snaps yesterday.
Gonna bring him back, or how are we feeling about it?
2 snaps for Tootin.
Well, no, he got banged up though.
Yeah,
Tootin.
Still.
I was a little surprised they put him in the wet game because he had a fumbling, at least, issue in college. He's been very good here in the NFL. But to put him in that situation, in a wet ball situation, was a bit surprising, and it backfired. And then he obviously got banged up, to your point. I couldn't believe he was even back in the game.
I thought he might have been.
Yeah, he was down.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a collision on that whole – a couple guys down. B.J. Green, I think, was down too. So – So yeah, man, I think here we go on Etienne again.
Well, hey, let's ask. I mean, we gonna resign him? Are we good? Hamby?
Nope.
Not don't resign him. All right. Okay.
The thing, I feel like I'm trying to find a way to re-sign him.
Brent's coming up on board a little bit. Brent's in the ocean, and I'm trying to toss him a life preserver.
Yeah.
Look who finally wanted to start swimming and coming back to the boat.
Yeah. Again, you don't have to ask me to be a fan of Etienne. That's not hard to do.
I'm aware. It's the sign of paying him.
It's the paying. It just doesn't feel like it's the move that a lot of organizations would do, especially after drafting a couple guys that you really like. But what I'm getting to here is right now, when the games really matter and everything really matters, which all the time it should matter, he's the guy you really trust. And when can you fit that trust or hand that trust off to a guy like Tootin? How much do you need to develop that? Or, hey, this can be his backfield, right? You don't need to do that. You don't need to rush that. You can just complement that. And right now with what you've been doing. And listen, the game, I think Tootin had 15 touches. We thought it was about to happen. We were like, oh, wait a minute, he's going to get more. And he was great. But then Etienne says, nah, this is my room, man. Yep. Give me the rock. And he is very sure-handed, takes care of the football. Been like one fumble and like 800-plus snaps or touches by him. So there's a lot to like, and from a continuity standpoint, you do kind of wonder, all right, wait a minute. They're not paying a ton of guys on offense. If they go get Jacoby Myers done,
when they make
it?
When they get Jacoby Myers done?
Yeah, when they go get Jacoby Myers done. And they also, because there's not a lot of high salary other than the quarterback on the offensive line, on the offense in general, can you actually then afford that in the backfield, kind of like I have been saying actually with the receivers. You can afford Jacoby Myers because you've got a couple of guys on young deals. Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Parker Washington. Well, in the backfield, you got a 4th round December. You're paying no money in the backfield by NFL standards.
Correct.
So you then could afford. I just think it will come down, are they going to overpay? Can they reasonably pay, or are they going to overpay? But you are getting me on board a little bit more from a trust standpoint and continuity standpoint. And I think that's really big. And I think it's every time we talk about this with Etienne, it is worth noting, and maybe credit to this regime too, because they tried to replace him, and they don't mind being, oh, wait a minute. We got lucky that we kept him.
Yeah,
you know? And they almost, I don't think they're screaming that from the mountaintops, but I think it's okay. Come prove us wrong. Coaches say that all the time, right?
Yeah.
And Etienne has done exactly that. So, and now where do they feel about him? They got to love it. They got to love, I mean, what he's been, a lot of people would say he's the MVP of the offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah.
I don't know if it's absolutely.
Strange,
I think you can make some.
I mean, but on a consistent game-by-game basis, I mean, he hasn't missed a game.
No.
You know? So I think if we're looking at consistency, then yes, I think Travis Etienne fits that mold.
Again, he was a more impactful back on the field yesterday. It wasn't 160 yards and, hey, you're better than Jonathan Taylor. We know Jonathan Taylor's really good. He was the more impactful back, though, in the key spots, in the situations, and he ended up with 70-plus yards, too. And it was only like 3.7 a carry. The numbers don't wow you to say, hey, let's go spend $13 million a year on the running back. The numbers are consistent, to your point, to get him to 917 yards now and 7 touchdowns.
The numbers are consistent, and also he's your most dependable third down back you got. And even when you brought in other players to be third down backs, Etienne hasn't forfeited that either.
I'm still a little bit surprised they haven't used him more in the receiving game too. But now some of that might be the screen part that's not working out. But I think you could just split those guys. There's more even there with Tootin and him in the passing game that I think he'll end up getting. All right, let's stay on time here. Take a break. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Hey, if you're looking for something for lunch this week, holiday season, you don't want to cook around. How about Bono's Pit Barbecue? Bono'sBarbecue.com. Look at the menu. Look at the catering options. Look at the locations. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Check out Bono's Pit Barbecue, and you can also get catering in for the holidays. You don't have to cook. Let them do it for you. Bono'sBarbecue.com. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good, and the medical professionals here at Panava Vain and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Panava Vain and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Panava Vain and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colt Tilly, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
All right, we're going to get to this college football playoff. So much to discuss here, and also get some of your comments along the way. So I'm going to try to do some of that, maybe. There's so many of them. Thanks for hanging out with us on YouTube and also on Twitter and Facebook and on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Fun times right now in Jacksonville, obviously, with the Jags and the rest of the NFL shaking out, and even college football. I mean, it's wild. I'd say it's such a train wreck that the people in charge have made it entertaining, I think by accident, because I'm not willing to say they're smart enough to do it. It's more like wrestling. It's just like they've fallen into this reality show in a way, in my opinion. And I don't know what's about to change next year, but I'm sure they're about to change it again. And last year they changed it, like the seeding, the first round bye stuff. And,
Yep.
And there you go. How about Indiana, first of all?
Man.
Give them credit.
Give them all the credit. That was crazy.
No, Hick said this last night on the show, and I think he's right. It kind of registered. I never really thought about it in this context, but this might be the best coaching job, like, in the history of sports.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen anything like it? I know that sounds loud and obnoxiously dramatic, but find something else like it.
In terms of the underdog being this good?
Well, a program that did nothing, is nothing.
Okay.
To break into the college football blue blood world.
Okay.
And now beat Ohio State and now be the number 1 seed in this playoff, which would be like a 2-year run for Cignetti in Indiana. It was built last year, and now here you go. I mean, this unheard, and this wasn't like Texas Tech just saying, hey, let's go. We're going to spend.
Oh,
I mean, this was built last year. Now they've also adapted with the times and all the rest. They're committed, no doubt. But my goodness, this feels way more coaching than money, is my point.
Yeah, and Cignetti too, man. My dog he seemed a little stressed before the game when they interviewed him. Because before, when it's like Penn State, it's like, Indiana's never won here. Like, well, this team's never played here.
Yeah.
He's kind of cocky. This time, it's like, what makes you think that you can beat Ohio State? He's like, Well, it's an honor to be. He didn't even answer the question. I'm like, oh, this guy, you know what's up with Ohio State.
Yeah, he didn't want that smoke, maybe.
But
I
should have asked for it.
I think I also wonder, right, how will they handle all this? Now, everybody knows it for real. They just beat Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wondered if they were for real, which you shouldn't have probably, they beat Oregon, too, on the road. They've got two really good wins.
Yeah.
So they've got 2 wins over that top 5. They deserve to be where they are. But how will they handle that? Because that's a different perch. And I think that's a question mark for Cignetti himself, because he's always been this underdog guy nobody talked about, and just he wins everywhere to this football team. So, but it's cool. It's a really cool story, and hard not to root for him. It's in a multi-million-dollar landscape now in college football. It has a Hoosiers feel to it.
Yeah.
Which is odd to get this day and age. Ohio State only drops a spot. They're not penalized much. Georgia right now looks really good.
Not a great precedent to win the SEC and not move, though. I'm not complaining because I would rather play the winner of Tulane Ole Miss than the winner of Miami Texas A&M. So I actually think the committee did Georgia a favor, but I didn't understand why Georgia didn't move from 3 to 2 and Ohio State to 3, considering in the past every time that an SEC champion has won, they've either been 1 or 2. Anytime you've lost, you're able to lose a spot. But I will say, as soon as, because obviously the 1 and the 2 seed went first in their little selection show yesterday at noon. I know most people weren't watching if they were at the game. I was watching. As soon as they put Ohio State at 2, you knew Alabama wasn't moving.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You knew they were in.
But also, I just think, the committee, and I think a lot of people still think Ohio State's the second best team in the country.
Well, they very well may think that. I wouldn't even blame them for that. But I think that's the precedent would have suggested that they should have moved to 3. But once it's almost like they wanted to say with the Ohio State move, this is even more defense when we have to defend why Bama doesn't move. Because, you know what I'm saying? If they would have moved Ohio State back, then they would have had to have moved Bama back. At least a spot or 2.
Yeah, I think a little bit of that. Listen, I'm not a fan of teams being on the couch and moving up, or teams getting penalized for losing the conference title games, whichever way you want to look at it. So, the fact that they don't have movement in there, I think is okay by me. It obviously brings up a lot of conversation. So, really where I'm going with this is the Alabama stuff, right? The front end is whatever. It's the back end that everybody wants to talk about. The Alabama side of it, for them to not move is okay with me. For them to move up last week didn't make sense. It was manufactured by the committee to then set the table for Notre Dame and Miami. But why that took all the way until last week is a bit mystifying. Because really, you can say, Indiana and Ohio State, best teams, playing the best, Georgia playing the best. Alabama's not playing the best. Alabama's not playing great football right now. They were okay at Auburn, and in the middle of that, losing to Oklahoma and getting thumped by Georgia.
Yeah, they're not on a good
just
run
not
of football
playing
right now.
So, but I also don't mind them not moving. I just mind them moving up to number 9 at that time. This committee just pieces things together whenever they want, and there's no rhyme or reason to it over the last few years, and I think that's why people have a problem with it, because it's really hard to figure out. I said this even way back when it was just 4, not way back, recently when it was 4. Show me the path. If you're going to come out with rankings every week, if you're going to come out with things every week, I want to see the path as a
the
football
what if scenario.
Fan. I want to see where you're making the logic that, if this team wins their next 3 games, we know the path in the NFL. The Jags might have to win all 4 to win the division. We want to see that as football fans, I think, as sports fans. We want to know what's in front. The problem with college football, it always has been a little bit, is the subjectivity to it doesn't allow you to do that, because you have no idea what they are actually going to put in their parameter list going into their meeting on Sunday. And you get a little bit of that in the NCAA tournament as well with the bubble teams. But there's so many more teams there that you can live with it. And I think they've been doing it for so long. Some of this stuff is new, and they still haven't figured out the right reason. So let's just get right to the topic. Did Notre Dame get screwed?
No.
They made the right call, Miami over Notre Dame.
Yep, I think so. Because who did Miami beat?
Notre Dame. So they got the head-to-head.
There you go.
And I can live with that, by the way.
Yeah.
I also, I will say this, and I've said this a couple times, and it's okay, but I don't think you usually say this. And I think if Texas was in it, and I don't think they deserve to be in it, I think Notre Dame, I think if they were in it, I think those two teams can win the national title.
Texas or Notre Dame?
Yeah. I think they could win the national title, and they're not in it, which is kind of crazy, but they slipped up at certain times, and I'm not telling you they deserve to be in.
I mean, I don't think there's any way Texas could win it. I mean, Notre Dame, maybe. I could go with you that they could win it over half these teams that I'm looking at right now, but I definitely disagree with you on Texas. I do want to ask you guys this. I mean, look,
Any way that Texas could win it? You don't think there's any way that Texas could win it? They don't have a good enough football team. Arch Manning's playing better football than he was in the first half when they lost 14-7 to Ohio State.
No, I think Arch Manning's playing really good football. I think it's their offensive line and their defense. That's you're just not going to hold against these type of teams.
Well, let me stay on my question list, so I won't go there. I just feel like it's interesting that they're out, and in my opinion, they could have a shot to go on a run. Let's just say that.
Sure.
Notre Dame's better than they were last year, and they ended up in the national championship game. Like, I think they're better than they were last year right now. So what about BYU? Did BYU get hosed? They lost to Texas Tech twice as one of the top teams in the country.
They got crushed by Texas Tech twice.
They did.
So, what? No, I don't think BYU. Like, who's BYU beat? They beat Utah.
Yeah, so it really comes down to Miami and BYU in this conversation.
I take Notre Dame over Utah. So, no, I don't think BYU got screwed. I think if they wanted to make the playoff, they should have beat Texas Tech in the championship game.
Hamby, the ACC is terrible.
Yes.
The Big 12 isn't really that good either.
Correct.
But how do you feel about Miami and BYU? Because I think I could sit here and make the case that Notre Dame is at 11 in the final rankings. Utah's at 15 in the final. That's not a lot of separation.
Yeah.
And also, Texas Tech obviously whooped up on BYU twice, but they don't have a bad loss like Miami has 2 bad losses.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I would say, I mean, the reason that BYU didn't make it, I think it was because they just didn't meet the eye test. I mean, they needed help, and they needed stuff to go their way to beat Colorado and Arizona. And I think the committee is just looking at that. I mean, I don't know what else it could have been. Do I believe they're a top 12 team? No. But do they have just as much a right to that I thought Miami did? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know what comes out of this, but it's pretty wild whether the ACC has to change its way or to not have a team in the ACC championship make the top 12.
Yeah.
And still have the debate of Notre Dame being better and BYU being better. Just opens the door for a lot of criticism.
No, it does. But to me, it comes down to what are your best wins? Like, this is why Alabama's still in with 3 losses, because Alabama, they beat Vanderbilt when Vanderbilt was highly ranked. I think that was at Vanderbilt, right?
I think it was home.
Was it home?
I think it was home.
Okay, my bad. It was at home. They beat,
still a good win.
They beat Mizzou when they were pretty ranked high. That was at Mizzou.
They beat Georgia.
And then they beat Georgia as well. They got beat by Florida State, right? And that's embarrassing, but I think the committee always looks at like the top quality wins over the losses. So like if you want to compare that and you look at Miami who beat Notre Dame, like I just don't think BYU, set aside from beating Utah, had that many quality wins. Like you could say maybe Arizona, they beat Arizona, but I think that's the reason why BYU's out.
Yeah.
And like teams like Alabama are in.
Yeah, I think I don't mind the Alabama one as much as the Miami one. They have the one win, but they also have 2 really bad losses. Like to me, Alabama, they offset the bad loss to Florida State with some quality wins, to your point.
But and that's going to always be secondary. Like the bad loss will always be secondary to the better wins.
Yeah. I feel like it should negate each other in some degree. But to me, this just felt like you got to get an ACC team.
Is there pressure like on James Madison now to?
No.
It ain't their fault.
Okay.
It's the system.
0.
Okay. No pressure on Tulane either?
No.
Okay. Just product of the system.
Even Summerall's already saying that he just hopes they don't get blown out like they did last time.
Right.
Is he already saying that?
Pretty much.
What team has the most pressure on him to prove like this thing? Is it Miami then?
I think Miami has some pressure. Yeah, because to me, they don't feel like
Guys,
they've earned their way in.
I think I'll be hammering Aggies -3.
But that's the one team to me that doesn't feel like they've earned their way in. They feel like they snuck in the back door.
Yeah.
More than even a James Madison. I mean, again, that's the system set up.
Yeah, it's not James Madison's fault.
So, yeah, I would say, I don't even think, like, here's the one thing the committee did. And I will say this about the committee, that they, the committee last year, Alabama got left out. Like, and it wasn't like it wasn't as good of an argument this time around as last year. It was a little more clear cut. But still, they didn't. People wondered if Alabama was going to get in, if I remember correctly, last year.
Yeah.
Well, then Notre Dame this year gets left out. And I feel like what the committee's basically doing is like, we're not going to show, look, we didn't show favoritism to Alabama and Notre Dame.
Yeah,
now they can hang their hat on that. And again, it gave them the easy excuse with Miami and Notre Dame. Well, I mean, because Alabama and Nick Saban used to argue, well, if we were matched up right now, we'd be an 8-point favorite. Well, Notre Dame would be a 5-point favorite against Miami right now.
At least.
So I think they gave themselves a little bit of, hey, look, what we did this, though. Nope, Alabama, Notre Dame, they don't get whatever they want.
All I'm saying is if Alabama was somehow left out of this whole thing, then you would have had chaos in terms of what the conference championship means.
Yes.
Because now, like, what would you actually have teams that are already in that would try to opt out and be like, why we play for this championship when it's only going to hurt us if we get beat?
I agree with that.
Like, so I understand it. Like, it's almost like they had to save face a little bit and say, regardless of what happens in the championship game, like, Alabama's still going to be in. Because if they didn't, then you're going to have even more chaos. Now, that argument then should Duke have been in consideration?
Yeah, which also is to have James Madison, Tulane, and Duke in there would felt like,
freaking NIT.
Because listen, I'm a big fan, and I don't want to be hypocritical here. I've been a big fan of the Cinderella team, even in this format.
Hey,
I know a lot of people aren't.
Duke's the Cinderella, Brent, right there for you.
I will say right now, though, I don't feel like I'm in love with both James Madison and Tulane. Like, I don't feel great about that. If one of them are in, that's fine to me. I like the Cinderella at the dance. I don't really like two of these games looking like auto wins for Ole Miss and Oregon right now, and it does feel that way. I watched James Madison play. They're just okay. Like, I watched Tulane play. I don't feel like they've got a chance.
Whatever the line they throw up there is not safe for what I will take for Oregon and Ole Miss.
I would say this, guys. Now, if you take column one, right, take away the quarterfinals, which, by the way, last year they all lost, right? Anybody who had a bye? Is that what happened last year?
Pretty much.
Right? Most of the teams didn't do well?
Yeah.
Who do you take from the first column if you have to pick one of those to win the national championship right now? You're obviously not going to take Tulane or James Madison. So the other 6 teams, who are you picking to win the national championship if I don't give you any of the 4 teams that have a bye?
I'm taking A&M.
I'm taking Oregon.
I really want to take Ole Miss. I don't feel like I'm comfortable with that. I feel like I would take A&M as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think one of the things that I was most surprised at in this whole bracket, other than the Miami thing, is that Texas A&M wasn't the 6. I mean, they're the 3 seed in the third ranked team all year, and they have 1 loss the last week of the season. They go to 7. I never thought that they should have moved past Ole Miss behind them, and then the committee told us they were going to consider the coaching stuff, and then they didn't. Like, they didn't mean anything. So they had multiple opportunities to put A&M above Ole Miss, and they just chose not to.
Yeah.
Not to. Again, to Georgia's benefit, I would assume, I think I would rather play Ole Miss than A&M. Also, Miami's probably sitting there like, man, I wish, Ole Miss was the – you don't think they'd rather play in Oxford than going to Kyle Field? So I didn't necessarily understand that thought either, but as a Georgia guy, obviously, it's good news for us, I think.
All right, let me give you one more scenario, guys, right now. You taking the Big Ten to win it all for a 3rd straight year? I think it's 3 straight years. Or are you taking the SEC? You got 5 teams from the SEC, but you've got 1, 2, and 5 out of the Big Ten.
Hamby?
I mean, I'm going to pick Georgia. I mean, I think Georgia is the best team in the country. I do. And I think they will match up well against any of these teams. I think they'd be able to stuff Indiana's run game. And yeah, I'm not going to say that Georgia's defense is playing way better now than they were 6 weeks ago.
Way better.
And it's starting to look a little bit like shades of the 2022 defense. Not the 21 defense, but the 2022 defense.
Stockton still concerns me at times.
Yeah.
I think that they've even sat on the playbook at times, even in the second half against Alabama. I think they did it against Georgia Tech as well. I think I have all the confidence in Georgia's offense. So, I'm going to take the SEC.
What do you think?
I got Big Ten. I think once again, it's hard for me to argue Indiana's not the best team in the country right now because I think they are, even though I don't like admitting that, just because I don't get it really. I still think if Ohio State wants to throw 50 times a game and just let their wide receivers get the ball, I think that's a better shot for them to win the whole thing. I understand it's college football, you're supposed to run the football. Dude, just let it rip if you're Ohio State. Their wide receivers are so good and get open so much. Give them 20 targets each a game.
I agree. I'll tell you what, maybe the thing that I came away with, because I haven't watched Ohio State play a ton, and who they're playing is tough. The thing that I came away with is Sayan's good. I think he's pretty good. Yeah. And I know they didn't score it up on Indiana and stuff. I know they struggled in the red zone. But I really think he's pretty damn good. And I think he can deliver for them, especially if you're right. If they just go find Jeremiah.
Just go find, literally. And I think he had a big game. Yeah. Bigger.
Yeah,
good.
Have bigger.
Hey, good. More. Good. What do you have, 15 targets? No, 20, 30.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, and I think he can get it to him is my point. So, and then I've got this sneaky suspicion. I'm kind of on your train. Texas Tech might win it all.
They're good, bro.
They're really good.
But
really good.
that's a Big 12 coming at you. That's not Big 10.
I know. That's why it doesn't fit this question.
Oh, I got you.
But I wouldn't be stunned. I'm sitting here right now, and I really wouldn't be stunned if 7 teams won the national. Take the top 4. You got Oregon. And I do think a Texas A&M or even an Alabama or Oklahoma could get hot or whatever and figure it out. I don't think Alabama's winning it all. But yeah, that's good. That's part of this. You want more people with a chance to win. That's today's landscape, is that you now have more people with a chance to win. At least you feel pretty confident in. And I think if you really put a popular vote out to it, I think a lot of people would take Ohio State above everybody else because there's faith in Ohio State this time of year.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest, though, man. Shout out to say what you want about the committee. Oregon, Texas Tech is going to feed families. And if it's going to be, assuming Oregon beats James Madison, hopefully. And then A&M, assuming that they beat Miami, Ohio State is going to be a great one as
well. Well, and Indiana against one of those two,
Indiana
man.
Against the
second-round
SEC.
games are good.
Let's find out,
Second-round games are really good, and Ole Miss and Georgia met, and Georgia beat them. But that's without Kiffin. Now we're going to really see how big of a factor that is.
Yeah, they still have plenty of storylines.
Yeah.
Would have been a great year for 8 teams.
Well, that's if they got the 8 right. This is a good way to get to 8 teams and let them figure it out. They're going to 16, by the way.
James Madison going to run the table, Hamby, just to prove you wrong.
They're going to 16, right? Is that the next move? Quick?
Yeah.
The next quick move here is going to 16.
Is this next year they're doing 16?
No, probably not.
Hey, what's the Notre Dame thing that they automatically get in if they're in the top 12? What is that?
Yeah, that is a MOU, a memorandum of understanding. That's legit.
So when they got on board with this whole new thing?
Yes.
What'd they say, once every 3 years? Why is it next year but not?
I'm confused. I haven't seen this. What's the rule?
So if Notre Dame, contractually, apparently, if Notre Dame finishes in the top 12 in the rankings,
okay,
they automatically get in next year. So, even if they were that 11th or 12th, this year, if they were the 11th or 12th, well, they are. They're the 11th team. They don't get in. But next year, they do get in.
Yeah.
Can you explain that to me? I don't understand it.
So that's from the Notre Dame AD. He says there's language in this memorandum of understanding that, if it was an agreement signed between Notre Dame and the college football playoff.
Because they're independent.
That it guarantees a top 12 ranked team would be in the playoff, but the contract language doesn't go into effect till next year.
That is wild. That is wild.
Put them in a conference.
That is wild.
Can we just put them in a conference?
Well, they're not going to. And they
I know, but hey, this is what you get. You don't want to be in a conference? Guess what? Now you get left out.
Yeah. Well, Delphonic said, they rank them 13, which they might. They obviously could do that.
But it's also it's also a benefit to them that nobody else has because Obviously, as we saw, the 12th ranked team doesn't make it in because of these G5 teams. But if Notre Dame was, say, 12, they would be treated hypothetically as like the 10.
Oh, as a 10. So they would bump the 10 out,
Yes.
not the group of 5 out.
Yes.
Okay.
So they'd bump them out.
Yeah, so they would bump Miami in that situation.
Right.
So the committee really has to do some manufacturing if they wanted Miami in over Notre Dame. They would have to get them all the way down to 13 in next year's playoff,
And
which
then
is wild.
Literally, I mean, you say manufacturing, that's just manipulating and not ranking the teams as you actually see fit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
Which you could say they've already been doing.
the parameters are just wild. Listen, Notre Dame carries a lot of power in college football. There's no doubt about it. But they didn't get their way this year, and maybe in part because they know they're going to get their way next year if they're even in the mix. But it's just it's a wild thing. One last thing: I'm assuming most people are like sour grapes by Notre Dame for pulling out of the bowl game.
And you want to
You
take
got a
your ball
problem
and
with
go. I don't have a. I mean, that's your choice. It was a team decision, from our understanding. So if that's what the team wanted, more power to you.
Which means a lot of people are probably going to opt out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff,
Take your ball and go home. Then that's fine. Like I don't. Like I think Notre Dame's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna talk about this, and that's great. Like I think everyone's gonna be like, oh no, Notre Dame's not in the bowl championships. Like, how are we gonna live? We're all good.
Yeah,
fine. Take your ball and go home. See if we lose sleep about it.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I don't care.
I wonder, Hamby, I don't know this. I just wonder. Notre Dame has power and influence, and I wonder if this is the start of something that's about to come to the rest of the bowls, where if people don't get their way or whatever, or you don't like the way the system is working, then you're going to be like, well, you need me because you want me for TV ratings. You want me for sponsorship.
Yeah.
The domino effect here is, yes, you don't care as a fan, but I do think the people who invest in college football, the people in Orlando who are going to get Notre Dame, certainly that's a big deal to them. If Notre Dame was coming to Jacksonville, they opted out, that is a massive blow.
But don't the players care? Because most, and I'm sure Notre Dame's different, but isn't most teams where you kind of got to – we talked about this with
with the NIL stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how their
I'm sure Notre Dame's probably different.
contracts are.
Well, that's the thing with Notre Dame is that these other programs, like Kansas State, opted out. They got hit with a $500K fine from the Big 12.
For opting out?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Who's going to fine Notre Dame?
Well,
Nobody.
Yeah, true.
So there's no consequence. So most of these schools in Power 4 that are opting out, they're going to be hit with a $500,000 fine.
Why did Kansas State opt out?
Did they claim injuries and everything?
I'm not sure what their exact
You know,
claim
it took.
was.
Here's the thing. This is where Notre Dame's not alone. There were 7+ teams I saw, including Florida State, that were eligible to go play a bowl game. I think against Southern Miss. Even
That's
as a
little
5
different,
and
though.
7
They're
team.
a 5 and 7 team.
I understand it, but they're the ones that need to practice more. You'd think they would value it. But 5 and 7, and they've opted out. So again,
UCF did that as well.
Are more people doing that? And there's this underlying thought, at least from the politics of what happened in college football, that if they had penalized Alabama for losing in the conference championship game, then Greg Sankey out of the SEC would have raised a big fit. And then you get closer and closer to pulling out of the NCAA and all this stuff and creating your own thing. So there's a lot going on here. I think behind the closed doors when you get the powerful programs of whether it's someone from the SEC, someone from the Big Ten, and that's where Notre Dame really factors in.
What they need to do, if they can just create bowl like of MOU with Notre Dame, the playoff, they need to come up with something that says if you as a team opt out of your bowl, you're not eligible for the playoff for 5 years, hypothetically.
That would be hard to do, I think.
Like that.
But if you're going to require your players to continue, because that's in their NIL deals, which I love, there's got to be something for the team and also. Or, it doesn't have to be that. It could be, if as a team you don't opt in to play your bowl game, you're going to, I don't know. They can come up with something, or maybe next year you're not eligible for 1 year for the playoff. So even if it's a 6-win team who doesn't think they can win go to the playoff, it doesn't matter. It's still about what that would say to the fans. You would never opt out.
I like the fining. Like I think if you fine them like $500 or something from like your NIL, like pot.
Yeah.
You think Boosters is going to like that?
Yeah, that's actually
You think
a good
Boosters
call.
is going to be all, oh, yeah, let's just donate $500,000 so you guys don't play? Get your asses in there and play.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like this is building towards something coming down the road with the whole bowl season and the landscape of college football. I think this is setting the table. I don't think this was just a one-off thing. I feel like we're going to look back on this and be like, okay, that was the start of X, like in 2029 or 2030, whatever it is. We'll see. All right, noon hour.
NIT tournament.
The noon hour hits. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. And here's what happened with the Gator Bowl. And it feels like the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. We talk about this a bunch. Like the SEC doesn't feel like they take care of them. They got Missouri coming this way. Listen, it could be a great game. Virginia, Missouri. That's going to be a fun day on December 27th. But there are obviously other matchups and other programs that would have been a little more sexy. And the Gator Bowl has suffered in this regard, unfortunately, that they are not getting the Vanderbilt, Tennessee matchup. Oh, well, it wouldn't be
Georgia Tech.
Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech matchup, or Tennessee, Virginia. Instead, it's Missouri, Virginia. So hopefully it's a fantastic game. They'll have the spotlight on Saturday, December 27th at 7:30, and that one's at Everbank. And we'll visit with Greg McGarity, shake this all out one more time on Wednesday. By the way, here on the Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Let's go back to the Jags, and what a performance yesterday. Talk a little more about what they did and where they are going at 9-4 in first place in the AFC South right after this.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jax into the search bar, and then click Action News Jax thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jax Now. Live daily breaking news.
We have breaking news happening right now in Clay County.
First alert weather and traffic.
Looks like we have a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that.
Action Sports Jax 24/7.
We've got the Brent and Austen Show daily. Live sporting events and long-form interviews you can't see anywhere else.
And shows like Law and Crime and much more. And that's how you access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Ah, look at that shot.
The governing body that picks the national champion at the end of the regular season.
Is that from, that's from Stuart Weber, I think he shot that. A little riverboat cruise on Saturday night for the Action News Jax holiday party. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Really cool. You weren't there.
I know. And did you go?
I did not.
Yeah. Wait, was this the Action Sport News Jax one? Or
Yeah.
sports? Okay.
The sports one you would have been invited to.
I got you. Yeah. No, hey, I get it. This is the life of a freelancer, man. I understand it. It's all good.
You weren't going to go anyway.
Absolutely not. It was Saturday?
You were at Freddy's.
I was 5 nights.
5 nights.
Five nights at Freddy's.
Whatever.
6, 7 at Freddy's. That's what it should have been called with all those kids there. Yeah, man.
You have a good time?
Hamby bagged out because he's watching Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's understandable, man. You can't schedule that during the SEC championship game.
By the way, so he said that he got thrown a surprise watch party for Georgia. From his
Oh,
wife.
at home, Hamby?
I was like, that is the best.
That's cool.
I don't want to go to your work Christmas party idea ever
That's
from
the best
your wife.
excuse ever.
She's off to a heck of a start.
Hamby, so your wife
had it planned.
Hamby, so your wife threw like an SEC party for you, like a championship?
Yeah, I just had a.
That's legit.
I was planning to go to watch the game at my parents' house, and ended up a lot of my buddies and their wives came over, and even one of my buddies from out of town came in. Not even a Georgia fan, just obviously a big ball knower.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I mean, he's in town. Like, that means he's staying the night at my house, a.k.a. I ain't leaving.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I can't. So, no, we had a great time. I was sad to miss it. I was planning on going.
You're fine.
Yeah,
Did she make like snacks and everything too? Like,
my dad grilled out and
damn, man.
Yeah, man.
Hammy, you don't have to do it now though. You have to return the favor. It's gonna be like nonstop Harry Potter marathons after football season.
We are movie. The third one is this Thursday.
There you go.
We're back on.
That's I don't even know. Chamber of Secrets? No, what is it?
I have no idea.
Prisoner of Azkaban?
No idea.
Come on, Brent. What's up, man? Goblet of Fire? Order of the Phoenix? Where you at, Brent?
You're just spitting them all out.
Where you at, man?
Were you watching the game on the boat, Brent?
They did. Yeah, I had it on the boat. Not really watching it. I mean, by that time it was over. You know. But the boat was cool. It was good. It was a rainy night, but it was kind of neat to see Jacksonville from that vantage point.
For sure.
You know? So that was good.
Was it Shad Khan's yacht or is it a different one?
No, we went by Shad's yacht.
Oh, did you really?
Times. Yeah, I almost swam on.
See you guys. Yeah.
Hey, Shad.
Yeah, he'll be on. Hey, man, get me on
there.
Yeah, he was probably on there. It was Saturday night, man. It was Saturday night at like 8 or 9 o'clock. You don't think Shad Khan was on the yacht? If the yacht's here, I got to believe Shad's staying in the yacht. It's nicer than any hotel in Jacksonville.
That's kind of crazy to think about how, like, you would rather, I mean, yeah, I haven't been on the yacht. I assume it's breathtaking. But, like, it's crazy how you'd rather stay on the boat than actually, like, in your own place. Yeah. And land. Yeah. Just solid ground.
Solid ground. Well, I guess. But like you said, I mean, the Four Seasons is being built. So, Four Seasons, by the way, have you guys seen, you guys have obviously gone down. Do you catch a glimpse of that? It actually looks like a cruise ship to me.
A little bit.
Doesn't it? Kind of has that, I don't know if that's the intention with it.
Huh. It's got the vibe.
But it has that vibe and feel that it has that, like, that shape.
It's in your tax bracket. You've been to Four Seasons?
I've never been.
I told you about my friend. No, my friend stays in them because, friend's successful, and I just ride his coattails. Dude, the Four Seasons is crazy, though. Like, so he stays at them, and, like, so, for instance, he went to watch my fight in Nashville, right? Mm-hmm. So he checks in. There was a handwritten letter from somebody knowing that he stayed, like, at the Four Seasons in, like, New Orleans. And so they're like, hey, we knew when you were in New Orleans you loved this. So they got him, like, some snacks from, like, the other Four Seasons.
Wow.
And had it in his room waiting for him when he got there.
Service.
Dude, it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
That is service. Do you think if Hamby stayed there, they would just get him a bunch of Girl Scout cookies?
Hamby, we're listening to you on the Brent and Austen show. We saw that you never tried Girl Scout cookies. Here's every single box. Like, dude, they do those things. Free of charge, by the way.
Of course.
Well, because you're paying.
Yeah. How much is it for Four Seasons a night? About $1,000? Is it that much?
Yeah, the buffet wasn't cheap either for breakfast, for brunch.
Continental?
Ain't Continental, hey, bro. You're paying out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? This is out of pocket, Hamby. But it's cool. Yeah.
Hey, the Jacksonville Jaguars played up this no respect card.
I like it.
And we did say this last week, and this was surprising to me, not because of the hindsight and result, but the Jags were 1.5-point dogs at home in this game. To me, that didn't make sense. You get 3 points, by the way, for being at home, usually according to Vegas, right? Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very much so.
And the Colts were favored by 1.5 despite losing, what had they lost? 3 out of 4 prior to that?
Yeah.
That was a weird Vegas line.
Despite their quarterback having one good working leg.
And no DeForest Buckner, no Sauce Gardner. I didn't get that line. Now, there are a lot of crazy lines in Vegas that you don't understand. And, I mean, listen, if it was a point by the Jags, so you give I could see that. I could see, I knew it would be close, or I figured it would be close. I just was a little bit stunned that it was a 1.5-point dog at home. Sure. And I think it was Greg Newsome who brought it up in the kind of unprovoked. We were just talking about respect because if you saw the post game yesterday, a lot of respect conversation. Well, that was part of it. It wasn't just that, hey, nobody's talking about us and everything else, which is usually going to be the case. If you watch almost any Jags game, if you watch afterward, you might see a highlight or two. And the only reason you might is because Chris Berman still puts every game in, so you see a highlight. Like, that's it. Even yesterday, it was a lot about Daniel Jones, which was a major story. But I think Greg Newsome even brought up, I think it was him, that said, yeah, we're a 1.5-point underdog at home.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, wow, so he was aware of it.
Oh, yeah, he said it.
Okay.
Again, and I keep putting it on him. I'm not sure it was him or somebody else. Might have been Jarian Jones.
I bet the team knew. I bet Liam Cohen used that.
That's the point. They knew it. They didn't just play up, hey, look, nobody's talking. Like Etienne said, turn on the TV in the building and nobody's talking about the Jags.
Yeah.
Like he gave that example. But Cohen is really playing this stuff up, which is fine. Like, that's good for the edge.
I like it.
But even the 1.5-point dog, which I think was worth playing up. I was stunned by that last week going into this game. So the point is, Austen, it's easy to play the no respect card in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
You're really never going to get it. Like Travis Etienne said it maybe best outside of the example. He's like, we know what it is with this organization. Like, if you play for this organization, you know you're not going to get that kind of respect. And so I think they're used to it. But players do want respect. It does matter to them to be talked about, to be amongst the best. I think the biggest sign of disrespect for the Jacksonville Jaguars so far this year is that we think NFL fans are pretty smart about the NFL.
I don't know.
Well, where are the NFL fans to not have Devin Lloyd even in the top 10 at linebacker?
Zero Pro Bowlers, like you said, Austin.
Have you been watching the NFL this year? Like, it's hard not to see that Devin Lloyd has 5 interceptions that he picked off on Monday Night Football. But I think that's another sign of disrespect. I mean, I think you could have disrespect for Logan Cook and for Ross Matisic and for you name it. And I'm not sitting here telling you anybody should be in the MVP conversation for the Jags, which is also a good sign of coaching. But to me, those are signs. That's the respect that players want. Players want to be like, hey, put me in. I want to be in your subconscious when you're making a vote for the Pro Bowl because look at the season I'm having.
No, trust me, I completely get it. And the reason I brought the whole fan vote up because I thought it was crazy that you might not have a Jacksonville Jaguar in the Pro Bowl. I think Devin Lloyd, that interception now has maybe changed the perception because it's not all fan voting.
No, it's
like
not.
Eventually the players will take over, and he should be in it. But like once again, and I get listen, I'm all for this. Like if this is what you're going to use, if you need that Bruce Lee, emotional content, use it. By all means, use it because it's working. But like me, just being the casual observer of everything, like I get it. It's a popularity contest. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, whether you want to talk about fan Pro Bowl voting, whether you want to talk about last night, during the pregame of Sunday Night Football, who they're all talking about, who they're excited about, like the Jaguars aren't getting mentioned at all, right? Like the Jaguars will always be an afterthought to the national media, to the casual national fan base until they win.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. Like it's just the way that it's going to be. So yeah, I mean I'm all for it, and I do think they're going to have Pro Bowlers. I think Lloyd will get in.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. I mean, we'll see who else.
Well, I just think it's fascinating that Matisic's not even in the top 10 on the long snapper because if you're voting for a long snapper, you would just look back at who's good because you have no idea.
Well, of
and
course.
He's been to the last 2 Pro Bowls, so you figure he would be just even on the list. He's not even in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, who's the leading long snapper right now?
I don't know. No idea.
That's probably from the Patriots, or he's probably from the Steelers.
Yeah, maybe it's the biggest fan base.
Biggest fan base,
right?
Yeah.
Listen, in a weird way, and I don't want this to sound a bad way, but the Jags have had to earn the respect of their own fan base. This year in particular. There are a lot of people out on the Jags. Even here in town, over the last year and a half. Is that a knock on the players? Not necessarily. That's more of a knock on the organization and some of the moves that were made and everything else. But this fan base has been asking, okay, show us. And to that degree, they've had to earn the respect. And this is where I think the Jags have really earned the respect of me yesterday. Are you going to show up in the big games? Are you going to show up when it's really on the line? It's one thing to beat the Titans last week, and you did a good job. Handle business. Appreciate it. But what about now when it really, really matters? What kind of team are you? And can you handle that? And it would be okay if you couldn't handle that because you're a team that had 4 wins last year and are still trying to figure it out. But I think they earned a lot from maybe us in the media or fans here to say, look at the way they showed up in a huge game in the elements with a 3-game win streak as underdogs at home, and they took care of business. And whether the league catches up with that or not, who really cares? But I do think they did open eyes yesterday. I think they opened eyes against the Kansas City Chiefs when they beat them. And I think they just opened eyes up yesterday now because you can't ignore the fact that they've won 5 out of 6, that they've beaten teams this year, San Francisco, Houston, Kansas City. And now Kansas City doesn't look as good as, say, beating Carolina, but you get the point. So I think they are starting to gain respect, and they will. They won't be in the conversation point. They're going to be the lead story on NFL Network and ESPN when they're covering the NFL. But I do think they're starting to gain some respect, and they've put themselves in that position.
When all that got brought to a head when Albert Breer got community noted yesterday.
Yes, Albert Breer did not help the cause.
Oh, well, fan of the show or friend of the show. Broncos are.
You just totally forgot Jacksonville.
He totally left the Jags out. Oh, I didn't see the Grok part of that.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go, Grok.
There you go.
He
Nicely
got
done.
blipped.
Yeah, and you saw this once again. I forgot who the people even are for the Sunday night halftime show. I'm so bad when it comes to names and everything of who everybody is, but Like the Jaguars Colts game, it wasn't the Jacksonville Jaguars went out and dominated Indy. It was Daniel Jones goes down, and the Jaguars maybe got a little lucky. Like that's like how they perceived it, right? And I agree with you, Brent. I think, especially the way that game plan was going for the Colts, I think if Daniel Jones would have been in the game, the Jaguars still win it. Now, probably would have been a lot closer, a little more exciting for Colts fans, but I still think that they're taking that L there. But yeah, that's just the way that it's going to feel. Like the Jaguars are a funny team from, I think, a national standpoint because people understand that their fans are super passionate, so they always want to try to like jump on at the right time to get some of that Jaguars Twitter bump.
Yeah, UK Adams.
Yeah, well, there you go. But then they're also like, if it's bad, like they're gonna maybe be cautious, hands off a little bit. But like, I still don't. And regardless of whether side you're on, I don't think the National has even bought in yet fully. Like, I think there's some people. I mean, I don't speak for everybody.
Yeah.
I think there's some people that are like, the Jaguars got lucky, Daniel Jones got hurt, like all this stuff. Fine, whatever. It's the Jaguars' job going forward to make a long run here, hopefully in the playoffs, where you're going to silence all those doubters. And it's going to be like, you know what? Luck had nothing to do with it. Like, this team is talented.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's part of it. I just think that there's one other element here. Trevor Lawrence. You will get more respect for your franchise and for your football team if your quarterback plays well. He's your headliner, right? And I think you come out of the last couple of weeks now, and you're watching some of these other guys, some bigger names, guys that have played really well, maybe not play as well, or at least play some inconsistent football, not leading their teams. But you're seeing now a Trevor Lawrence start to evolve. If he can continue this, and some of it's a bit of the softer part of schedule, take advantage of it. The other guys do too. Mm-hmm. But if he can do that, and now you have things like I said today, where success rate or whatever number is since the bye week, they play that game too. If you're next to Matthew Stafford in some categories.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, how you get a little bit more respect. And by the way, it's all a domino effect. If your quarterback's playing that well, you're usually probably winning games, and then people are going to talk about you because you're in the middle of the mix.
Yeah, but see, that's what drove me crazy. Yes, because once again, I was, I don't watch a lot. The only time I ever see like analysis and stuff, I don't watch like Good Morning Football and all that stuff, but like I'll watch the pregame shows and like halftime shows of primetime games. And like even like, hey, who are the quarterbacks that you saw that you impressed you yesterday? I mean, they're talking about J.J. McCarthy over Trevor Lawrence. Like, Trevor Lawrence didn't get mentioned once.
Really?
J.J. McCarthy.
9
is getting, you see J.J. McCarthy, 3 touchdowns.
Big bounce back performance. Go ahead and pencil him for comeback player of the year.
135 QBR and all this. I'm just like.
Yeah, that's wild to me because if you had any ounce of, like, keeping an eye on football yesterday, Trevor Lawrence looked impressive to you.
Yeah.
And J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota's out of it. There's nothing that
I know.
They're out of it. So that's not even a conversation.
And I didn't see anything. I haven't seen any highlights from that game, but I know Jefferson did nothing. So did J.J. even – were these check downs that went for big gains and 2-yard throws and all that?
No, he had some longer pass. Like, and I had Washington's defense in fantasy. So I was watching that game a little bit.
She got cooked.
A little bit. Hey, Dan Quinn. Defensive-minded guy or not?
16-23 for a 163. He threw for 3 touchdowns, no picks, but
well, it was such a gross separation from the grossness that has existed with
true.
J.J. McCarthy. I think that's why that was probably
because you want to talk about the Jaguars' defense last year to this year? It was even worse for J.J. McCarthy.
Yes.
Like people, hey, Hamby, you saw the memes.
I did.
Casey was sending us the memes.
Oh,
J.J. McCarthy threw for more than 50% completion.
Yeah, I
Brown
know,
him.
man. So like everyone's talking about him, which is crazy to me.
All right, one last thing on the respect card. Can we play this from Josh Hines Allen? It's interesting here because
you want it from Josh, huh?
Josh was he doesn't get caught up and like get hyped up. Like he trays even keel.
Yeah.
But sooner or later he was asked about this and he probably delivered a more powerful soundbite than he wanted to do. He tries to stay out of this lane. But as soon as you mention things like the Super Bowl, it gets loud.
Sure.
Right? And here's what Josh said in the locker room after the game.
I think the league-wise, I think, to them, we're still the Jags, and they're just waiting for us to slip up. But, for us, if we continue to trust our process, trust our grind, and we're going to continue to keep peaking. And, all the people that are going to say that, we're not a good team, we'll see them in the Super Bowl.
It's like, okay. We'll put an exclamation point on that one.
Appreciate
and now
the
you know how that one's going to be perceived, right? But I think the context here was so crazy because Josh does not say things like that in terms of like, when Jalen Ramsey said what he said coming off, but Jalen says stuff like that. Right?
That's a weekly soundbite from Jalen.
Hey, I will tell you this, though. What he said right there to me and what I feel from this football team is just this ultra sense of confidence. And he didn't just say, hey, we're going to the Super Bowl. He said, but if you want to keep downplaying us and not bring your best or think that you're just going to come in here and walk in, well, then you might. I mean, that's the way I interpreted that. But there is this real sense of confidence right now in this football team, in this locker room, at what they're doing, that they just keep getting better and better and better. And the way the AFC is, I told you guys this last week. I had not even uttered those two words even in thought until last week when somebody brought it up. I think it was Liv. Yeah, Liv brought it up.
Yep.
And the way they handled this game and the way they are playing and the way the rest of the AFC is, I don't know how anybody in New England, Denver, Jacksonville, Houston, Buffalo, maybe Indiana, L.A. couldn't think that they have a shot to go on a run in January in this conference. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, without a doubt. Like, I feel like every single year, and listen, this is football, right? Any given Sunday and all this stuff. But I feel like every single year these past 5-6 years, like, yeah, you had hope, but then you also saw like one or two teams in each conference, and it's like,
gotta get by.
Yeah, we got hope, but it's like, okay, this guy's kind of, blocking the door, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Nobody, we talked about it. Nobody, like, Patriots don't scare you. Broncos don't scare you. Like, I'll be honest, Texans scared me a little bit just because,
they do. That's
honestly, maybe that's crazy. Maybe the scariest team of this, aside from the Jaguars, might be the Texans.
Right now is in 8th place.
Yeah.
In the AFC.
But you know what? But what is that saying then? That there's parity and anybody can take it.
It is wild.
Yeah.
And I think we as fans, I don't. Maybe I'm a little bit like this. I don't know how about the rest of the fans are. I think I feel better, or at least when 2017 happened or 2022 happened, you feel better as the underdog. Mm-hmm. You feel better when the expectation isn't there. I mean, the one time in this franchise history where the expectation was really on was 1999. They lost 3 times to Tennessee.
Yeah.
The next time there was great expectation for maybe a realistic run was 2018. They flopped. So, like, I think this fan base, I think everybody around that would watch this is like, hey, let's just let us sneak up on you.
Yeah.
So it's almost a better place to be. And in a weird way, it's almost like, I'm not sure I want that number 1 or 2 seed. Because then people start to come get you.
Yeah.
It's better to sneak up on people and just be the Jags.
Listen, this Jets game coming up, I understand there's no easy wins in the NFL. This Jets team is not good.
But like you said, it was 12.5 for the
11.5.
But hey, if Aaron Glenn wants to give a little soundbite this week against the Jaguars, I'd appreciate it. Get a little motivation because we talked about it. Like, listen, this Colts game, I think we all felt pretty good about the Jaguars, but there's still a little uneasiness thinking the Colts could come in here and win. Like, I think the national standpoint thought that. I don't think anybody, including Jets fans, are thinking, hey, we got the Jaguars.
Yeah.
So now, and this is, once again, this is important, I think, Brent. It's about discovering yourself as a head coach, discovering yourself as a team. This is really the first game this season where we can sit here and say they should crush the Jets, right? Like,
I think Tennessee was a little bit like that.
Tennessee was a little bit like that, but there was still the aura of, well, you're going to Nashville, how do you play there and everything. Like, they still had some incentive.
For sure.
It's a divisional rival.
Yeah. They were only 5-point favorites, I think, in that game.
Yeah,
sure. This one, it's okay. Well, they lost Quinnen Williams, right? They lost some of their key pieces. They don't really have a quarterback.
You're at home.
Yeah. You got the number 1 rush defense against their biggest weapon, maybe is Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, how do you get up for this one?
Yeah, that's a good point. They are now 12.5-point favorites, by the way, too.
It just keeps going up.
Just keeps going up.
Did Aaron Glenn say something? What happened?
They are I don't know, but
come on.
They
Come on,
and the
Aaron.
Eagles are the biggest favorite in the league in San Francisco against the Titans.
Who are the Eagles playing?
The Eagles are playing the Raiders. So there's three teams that are 12.5-point favorites. Seattle, by the way, have 11.5-point favorite against the Colts.
Is this,
so there are
is this
four
Indy
games that are double
or
digits.
at Seattle? Is it where
It's
is
at Seattle? So four. That's four teams that are double-digit favorites in this game. All right, listen, we're going to take a break. Go come back. I want you to hear from Liam Cohen, and I'm also going to give you a statistic that I think you will find amazing. And I want to ask you if you feel like the statistic is right or wrong. Because something changed for me yesterday in that kind of department, and I'll share it with you when we come back. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Hey, nobody but Nimnick. Make sure you visit them this holiday season. Holidays right around the corner. Nimnick Buick GMC kicking off the season. Prices that are better than ever. So visit them and their showroom. Phillips Highway today. NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nobody but Nimnick. Can the Jags make a run? We hear from Liam Cohen about that when we come back. Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground. The water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar, grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
Sun's out, suits out. That's right, it's summertime in Florida, which means it's time to say goodbye to bulking season and hello to shredding season. But if you're like me, you're having a hard time sculpting and shaping those final pounds. That is until I came and saw my friends over at Panava Vain and Aesthetics. Right now, everyone is hopping on the Evolve X train, and the only destination is finding your perfect summer body. The technology uses electrical muscle stimulation and radio frequency energy to cause your muscles to contract, all while heating up those deep layers of your skin and tissue to produce collagen and reduce fat. It's like doing 1,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes. No pain, no needles, just results, right?
That's right.
So leave those winter layers back at the station and come look and feel your best with the team here at Panava Vain and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Hey guys, we got a new player today. I hear he's pretty good.
Heard this guy played in the NFL.
I think he's an MMA fighter. I've actually been on his show, the Brent and Austen show.
Football and fighting, that's the easy part. Let's see if I still have it on the ice. What the heck, man? Who is this guy? He's saving everything.
Leave the hockey to the pros, man. It's hockey season. Come on out and see the Icemen play. Get your tickets at jacksonvilleicemen.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
You excited about this one?
Yeah, no, but Ronan is.
He is?
Yeah, man. It's something. You ever watch these? Or not, Hamby? You ever see these? Because they do them with like NHL and everything too.
Well, yeah, well, they've been doing nickel.
I think I flipped it on a time or two.
So, okay, but these are different though. So like the Nickelodeon one, usually it's just like, it's the real game, but then they'll add stuff to the game.
Okay.
And then they have these, like they had a Big City Greens NHL one last year. This one, it's like, I don't know how they set it up. Like all the players have like tracking systems on each player. So like what you see, because they're all animated. So it's an animated game, but like what happens on the field actually happens in the animated game.
That's how they get
somehow.
it over. That's wild.
Yeah. So it's trippy.
So Disney's done this before, but in different sports. You think they've been the one doing it at the NHL level?
Yeah, they did it at the NHL level because it's Big City Greens on Disney. I think there might have been another football one they did it last year as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I actually saw it and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun because I know the Monsters Inc. stuff more than I would probably pay attention to Nickelodeon. Sure. Matt says, put the Santa hat on the logo this Sunday. Shout out to the field crew, as we said, but they can't do it anymore. That Santa logo, everybody wants back. The league won't allow it. So that's a real deal thing.
Oh
yeah, Toy Story. That was the one. Toy Story.
That was, I think it was the Bills and
Bills Jags and Falcons. Yeah, Toy Story. You're right.
Oh, they did. You're right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
At least some of the clips are part.
Yeah, it's something for the kids, man.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And especially if Disney's going to be associated with things.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's something that happened yesterday in the football game. Well, just in general in that game that I'm now a believer in. It's not just the team like to earn respect, everything else. I think I said this a couple times last week. I know the Jags are number 1 in the National Football League against the run, but I wasn't like completely buying that they're this dominant best team against the run.
Yeah.
I think I gave you some points. They hadn't really played very good running backs. Very good lines. Most teams look like they're trying to throw against the Jags to beat them rather than run to begin with.
Rams, Seahawks.
So I just think there was evidence to say, okay, really, are they as good as the stats would indicate? Well, hats off to the Jags because that was a game where you had to bring it. And I think the longest run from Jonathan Taylor was 14 yards. And on that play, Jordan Lewis was on the sideline until the snap. They only had 10 players on the field as he was running on the field during that snap.
Yep.
They did a hell of a job against Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, long was 14.
I mean, once again, I think talking about what we know, I think we know that the Jaguars can stop the run.
Yeah.
Now, in the playoffs, I mean, depending who you play, that could mean a lot. Because there's some teams in the playoffs that can run the football.
Yeah, well, and Buffalo's going to try to run it, or teams like that, right? Yep. And you've got to be able to run it. And that's the other thing.
New
the Jags
England's
going to
try to run it.
So you have to be effective against the run game. And I think, I don't know if it was Newsome or maybe Jarian Jones or whoever, but they had just talked about how good they are at shedding blocks right now. They feel like they're doing a really good job of that. And do you remember early in the season? No, it wasn't
talked
Coen.
about that yesterday, too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Campanile, though, said we are going to – I don't know if this was in a production meeting or on a run. Yeah, he said we're going to celebrate shedding blocks.
Getting off blocks.
A lot of people – getting off blocks. If people might celebrate tackles or sacks,
one out.
We want to celebrate this. Another thing of interest to me is Foye-Oluokun on a third down, or maybe it's a second down, makes a really good pass defense, like in the middle of the field. I don't know if you remember this play. It was in the first half, so it was when things were going back and forth still. And he, I think, he has the most passes defensed by a linebacker in the NFL since 2023 right now. So to go along with all the tackles, he's playing disruptive football in other parts.
Which, by the way, that was 6 years in a row with 100-plus now.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you talk about the run, you go to the linebacker who can go get people and been very good. But I think you saw Devon Hamilton yesterday. I thought the Dickerson guy, along with Trayvon, was an impact. I don't think we saw Armstead play a ton. Do you know the snaps Armstead had yesterday?
Yeah, he only played
quickly.
Armstead had 16 snaps, so that's a quarter.
What was Walker?
Trayvon played 38 snaps.
Okay.
Pretty good out of 63, right?
Yeah.
So
54%.
That's
Dennis
pretty good.
Gardeck only played 22 snaps. Gardeck
Interesting.
actually had his snaps reduced a little bit. That's why Strigow played the most he's had so far this season at half. And Dickerson was not just, I mean, he wasn't necessarily outside, but I think he maybe took a snap or two away from Gardeck.
Well, and I think Gardeck was more just and once again, we can read in this all we want. I think it was more of a game plan thing.
It's a matchup.
I think because once again, especially when Jones goes down, like I think they're going to rely on a heavy run just because you don't want a third string rookie quarterback thrown all over the field. So I just think game flow and injuries, Daniel Jones kind of dictated that Gardeck probably wasn't getting so much run because while he is reliable in all phases, I feel like his specialty is getting after the quarterback.
Well, I also think if you looked, to your point there, I think if you looked at times, and I feel like I did this, they used that 3 safety decent amount of times because I saw Antonio Johnson, Rayon Lane, and Murray on the field at the same time. So, yeah, I think it's a stylistic type thing. Do you feel like the Jags, with their turnovers and the number one rush defense, are a top 10 defense in the National Football League?
I think they're right on the cusp.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to I don't have like the numbers and analytics in front of me.
Well, yeah, this total feel question. Like when you say a top 10 defense, you have an expectation in your mind. Top 10 offense, top 10 defense.
It's hard for us to throw them in that category because it doesn't take long for us to go back to the games like against the Rams, where it's like the Jags could not get off the field, like they weren't stopping anybody on that day. So it's like, well, does a top 10 defense ever look like that? Like
or the
that
Texans
bad?
game, the fourth quarter, like.
Right, like you don't have a top 10 defense doesn't have glimpses of looking like the worst defense in the NFL. Like for that quarter against the Texans, they look like the worst defense in the NFL. Same thing against the Rams, they couldn't stop anything.
Well, with the Raiders, they gave up 29.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what's keeping you those 9 quarters of football. Maybe are deteriorating from every other quarter of football the Jags have played this season, and so that's why in our mind they don't really stand out as a top defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad call. I think if you want to go the past couple of games, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I agree with him. I think they're right at the cusp.
Yeah, it's interesting because they've given up 10, 6, 3, and throw a garbage touchdown in yesterday to get the Colts to 19. But they've had, a handful of games where teams are under 20 points significantly. Yeah. So they've had some of those kind of games, and you hope that shows up against the Jets and the Titans still to come, maybe even the Colts again. Well, right now, guys, this is from a points per game standpoint. The Jaguars are 10th in the NFL. They've allowed 20.9 points per game. So they are 10th in the National Football League in their defense. They were, we know, 28th, 29th, 30th in that department last year. An incredible jump.
I know because I saw this yesterday. I forgot what NFL analyst or whatever tweeted this, but he was talking about how expect Coach Campanelli to get some looks.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that, obviously. I mean, it'd be cool for him, but want him to stay in Jacksonville. Is Matt Burke getting looks from the Texans? Like, focus on the Texans. Don't try to poach our guys right now.
Yeah.
But I assume is Matt Burke in consideration for defense, like a head coaching role next year?
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't heard his name.
Neither have I.
Because
How?
I think that's viewed as
this is like the Andy Reid and all his coordinators.
But I don't know that. I'm just saying. I would assume that. Doesn't it feel like D'Amico Ryans' defense? Because
I guess,
he's a defensive guy.
Because I keep hearing like, hey, Campanelli could be a surprise. Okay, well, let's go look at the Texans' defense. They're pretty good too. Please keep your attention over there and not on us right now.
Yeah,
because I don't want to lose Coach Campanelli. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I don't feel like that's happening, but I get your point. Okay, how about the other side? Do you feel like the Jags have a top 10 offense in the National Football League?
No. Plain no. And over the last month, they probably had.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about in totality.
Yeah, it's overall. Yeah.
The feeling, I think, is what you're getting at. The feeling is
that's what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah, the feeling
because
is
I didn't
no.
feel. My whole point of this is I didn't feel like the Jags had a number one rush defense.
Right.
This year, but statistically they are, and then they just showed it on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. They don't feel like a top. And if they do, it's because the offense is down around the league.
See, I got recency bias right now, though. Yeah, they can. Yeah, to answer your question, but I'd probably keep them out of the top 10. But once again, I think they're on the cusp. I don't know. It didn't help yesterday. I watched
I'm sure you're going to tell us
the Bills
that
and the Bengals put up how many yards
that's true.
In a snow game. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. But
I am going to tell you they're ninth. They are
Jaguars are ninth
in the league. Again, this is just points for and against, okay? So whether that can get skewed at times, but does it balance out? The bottom line is last year, again, I think the Jags, I'll tell you what they were. Last year in both categories, the Jags were 26th on offense. It felt like it. They were 27th on defense. It felt like it or worse. So that's my point. It's like we can sit – a lot of people look at defense and be like, well, how many yards are they giving up? Well, I don't understand why that matters. So you give up a lot of junk yards in a game. If you're up like yesterday, they gave up however many yards in the fourth quarter, and the game was over.
It should be about points.
So to me, it comes down to points. Those are a little bit more. They even out. I think you might have a really good game, might have a real crap game, and then they even out a little bit more to get to the mean of where you are. And again, if you go back to 2022, where the Jags went to the playoffs, they were 10th on offense. 12th on defense. They are more like that right now. And I will give you one more thing about how it feels sometimes. The Jacksonville Jaguars back in 2017, who obviously got a really good run from Blake Bortles in December, but overall, people weren't sitting there like, wow, they got Blake Bortles. Look at that. It was the strength of the defense in 2017. Well, what few people know about 2017 or remember about is they had the 6th overall offense in the National Football League that year, and they made it to the AFC Championship game. Not just because of their defense, in part because of their defense, who also scored points and set them up in good spots. But I think that's where this defense is helping out the offense too. They give them some short fields. They give them some opportunities, a chance to cash in, which may be the reason you feel like the offense is more on the cusp of a top 10 than it is really a top 10, because they've got short fields like they had yesterday on 2 occasions, and they cash it into 14 points. No problem. Nobody's complaining. But I'm just saying it doesn't feel like 39 points out of Buffalo, who also, by the way, scored a defensive touchdown, or Burrow throwing for 300 yards. I can't sit here and tell you the Jags offense feels that way. In fact, I think we can debate every week who the best player is, even on offense.
Yeah. Well, can you give us the top 10 right now and like who they're in line with offense? Because I don't even know. I don't know.
Just give you a minute. Guess while I'm looking it up.
Who the top 10 offenses are? Okay. I mean, I think number one's probably the Rams.
Was the Colts.
Was the Colts,
but I think
the
after
Rams,
yesterday,
the Seahawks.
Rams, Seahawks.
The Bills got to be up there still.
Yeah, Bills are up. Yeah.
They have to be.
Bills are up there. I mean, are you throwing the Dolphins up there? Just from recency bias?
All right, here's what I got so far.
I just put the Patriots up there for sure.
Patriots are up there.
Points per game. We got Indy at 32.1.
Detroit.
Seattle. And two, like I've said this multiple times over the last week or so, I do think the offense is trending, but I also feel like they haven't hit a ceiling. There's more to get here. That drive yesterday, again, dropped. 2 drops, 2 false starts, on the drive where they go score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why when I say, does it feel like a top 10 offense, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it feels like there's a ceiling to say, and the best quarterback play is either right now or still to come, depending on how you want to look at it.
Okay.
I can't get my computer to.
Well, I'm okay. I'm on a different. What website are you on? Because this one's okay. This one's got Detroit.
This one's got Detroit too. So
number one.
Maybe that was a projected. My bad.
Okay, so we got Detroit, Seattle, Dallas, the Rams, Indy's number 5. Buffalo is tied with Indy.
Give me the Bears.
New England, Bears. Yep, and then
the
Jacksonville, and then the Packers.
So the Jags are at 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, that's where the scoring one came in on the Pro Football Reference I was looking at.
Gotcha.
So the Jags are averaging more points than the Packers. The Bengals obviously didn't have Burrow for a while, but teams like the Broncos and Niners who are good, Tampa and the Eagles. So pretty significant. And then defensively, just to tell you the top teams, just to finish this off, Houston obviously far and away the best team. Like, see, that's what people are missing out. It's not just that Houston has the best defense in the National Football League. They have the best defense. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I thought they had the best defense by a margin. It's not as big. Seattle is 17.4, second. The Rams, 17.5, third. Broncos at 19.1. Then you got the Patriots, Packers, Chiefs, 49ers, Eagles, Jags at points per game. Trying to find really good teams at the Jags. So the Lions obviously give up more. I don't know if they're really good. Playoff team-wise.
Wait, who gives it more? The
Lions.
Okay.
And the Bills.
What's New England at?
New England is at...
Because Hugo brings up a good point.
18.
Does Jacksonville have the best offense-defense balance in the AFC? Is New England better?
That's a good point.
It's got to be New England if it's anybody, but that might be it.
Well, New England and Denver would come to mind, but not Denver.
Denver's offense isn't that good.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm going to give you something outlandish. Denver... Yeah, I'm going to give you something outlandish in a second. All right. Let me get to the Patriots. The Patriots are... Come on. I don't have to do this every time. The Patriots are 2 slots ahead on offense and 4 slots ahead on defense.
Okay.
So, yes.
So they're... But that's only one.
The team that actually is right there and close, amazingly, is the Chiefs.
They're done.
Offense and defense.
They're done. Travis Kelce said that we're done.
So, yeah, I think the Patriots...
Don't worry about them.
Are the answer here. And actually, Indianapolis.
Yeah, done.
But they might be done.
It's all good.
So,
all right.
Yeah, that's a good that's that complimentary style.
I like it.
And I don't know how the Patriots special teams is, but the Jags special teams we know can be pretty dynamic.
Is 80-time
Plus, our
Pro
punter
Bowler
will kill them.
Slater still on their team?
No, he's
Oh,
gone.
man. Hey, were you waiting for remember the scuffle when it was like the 50-50 ball? By the way, hey, refs, thanks for that call.
Yeah, and thanks for the BTJ catch call.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's all good.
And thanks for the PI call, Michael Pittman.
But when they were arguing, I thought for sure Liam Cohen was going to go, hey, Logan. About that time. Go take care of business.
Why was the Newsome catch given to the Jags?
Don't worry about it. We'll take it.
Side judge just
Don't
wanted
ask it. We're all good.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Can't complain about calls in that one.
Sometimes you get breaks, Brent.
The Jarian Jones PI was bad call. I thought it was a bad call.
Yeah, Michael Pittman, that was not OPI.
But that same thing, they never see the Michael Pittman call. Although there was a crazy amount of separation at the end of it. If you look at where
his arm though, it was already extended.
I guess, but if you looked at where his body ended up, was that Buster Brown on coverage? Might have been.
It wasn't Buster.
Oh, it wasn't. Whoever was in coverage, there was a lot of separation by the end of it, but it didn't look bad to me. So,
yeah, those poor Colts fans, man. Like, if it wasn't bad enough losing your starting quarterback,
they really didn't get a lot of calls.
They didn't get a lot of calls.
All right, that's going to do it for Monday. Jags Report live tonight. We think we're going to have Trayvon Walker. Still trying to confirm that, but scheduled to have Trayvon tonight, 7 o'clock, String Sports Brewery in Jacks Beach. You can watch on Fox 30. You can watch it right here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. You can also watch Blitz Breakdown. We got 2 teams going for a state championship this week, so join the guys at 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock. Get all your high school football. We'll have some guests as well. There's the Toy Story game.
Let's
the Jags
go.
and the Falcons from London. Jags won that game in London a couple years ago. Have a good Monday, everybody.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, we have what you need.
Get a Moto Guzzi Stone Corsa for just $235 a month, or a Triumph Trident for as low as $207 a month, or the popular Honda Rebel 1100 DCT starting at a low $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from all of our great brands, only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I wanted to play in the NFL.
Cuts it back to her left side, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass. Say he doesn't make a tackle. You still feel like his presence is felt in every single play.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep, can't eat. You see that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $4 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy.
Lawrence looking deep in the end zone.